and bred in Nashville, but she walks the beaches down in Florida sand. A mother and wife, a daughter, a sister, trying hard to do the best she can. She found her voice with a heavy heart, looking for purpose with trembling hands. And giving this all a new start, moving ahead, speaking for ones who came. She says I am who I am, I'll stand my ground. Even when the nights get long and rough, you'll hear my sound. She'll be speaking for the ones unheard, 'cause she's got a caring heart that won't be turned. Her mama fought cancer while she was searching, stories that needed a gentle voice. We saw summer's name and felt the heart ache and tried to bring light where there was no choice. And when she heard us the best in her sadness rose, she prays for truth through the noise. She'll follow wherever the story goes, seeking their dignity, a child's joy.
Hello, everybody. Welcome in, and thank you for being here today. It's still chilly a little bit. Of course, silly me's got on long sleeves. Hello, Janice. Welcome in. Roxy, four must be my lucky number today. Roxy, 930. Hello. Good to see you, honey. Hope you're doing good. I hope everybody is doing good today, and everybody over in the bushes, hello to you too. You are very welcome, and so is anybody that is in vertical. Hell, I don't know if I can see you or not, but we're here, honey. We're here and we're live. I hope everybody's doing fine. I just pray that Miss Nancy is found safely, and we have some good news on this conference today they're fixing to do. So I wanted to kind of come on here and just do that. There was a lot going on last night. You see my little tape up there? There was a lot going on up there. Tape up, tape down, tape up, tape down. They put the tape back up. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't feel like coming back on, but I watched. I watched another channel last night, and I just watched it. I mean, I enjoyed it, and it was a great show. So there. You lost your bank card? Oh my God. It's okay, honey. Oh, let's see, I lost all my months with you being a member. Oh my God. I don't know how it works, but honey, we know you're here, but I don't know if I think they've got it. Some places have got it fixed now, maybe where it shows, but we know, honey, we know, and you're fine. I'm sorry. I've did that 3 times. I've had to replace mine, and it's a pain in the butt. It is. I'm going to go ahead real quick, and I'm going to read the copyright. I'm taking a lot of shortcuts today. I am. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, research. Fair use is permitted by copyright statute. That might otherwise be infringing. Well, I am telling you, this is for personal use, my personal opinions, and all the things is our opinions here on this show. And I do not intend to infringe on anybody. I don't mean to step on anybody's toes. Everything belongs to theirs. Okay, it's theirs. Just saying. Just saying. So I hope you all been doing good. Hope everybody is getting over this cold and all the things. Still a little bit chilly here, but the sun's coming out here at least. As you see, Miss Nancy, she has more problems than we do in that family. We got about, let's see, I'm going to let me look at something. Hold on. Sorry. Hold on just a minute. I'm going to pull up, hold on, and let him play. While we talk, I'm actually going to turn the volume off so we can see if the press conference comes, but give me just a second here. Let's see. I think this is it. Yeah. We're going to watch it on Agenda Free TV. He's got a lot of people over there. Everybody watches him. Wait, okay, hold on.
Include specific deadlines, and one of the
Okay, so I turn the noise down. We're just going to let him play, and we're going to talk for a minute. Hello, everybody coming in. I appreciate you. I appreciate you being here. Thank you for being here. Hey, Casey. Hello. Welcome in. Thank you. Thank you for being here. And Janice, did I say hello to you? Or I know I put your name up. I've been going 90-0 this morning. 90-0. Y'all can put in there if you want to and tell me what you're thinking now. This was, man, a lot happened yesterday. A lot's happened in the 24 hours, right? We're waiting on the press conference now. He's going to show the press conference when it comes on. He's live. So let me put my little banner up here. Just drop his channel. And also, y'all go sub up to Agenda Free TV. And also, Janice, if you don't mind, put up the copyright. I know I read it and all those things, but it is what it is. I'm gonna let it sit there a minute while we talk so we don't miss anything. Tell me how y'all are feeling today about this case, because like I said, I come on yesterday morning early, but I did not come on. I didn't come on, last night. And everything was happening. They went back out to the home. They put back up crime scene tape. My understanding is they took out a few things. They got more pictures, different stuff like that. What do y'all think is going to happen today? I mean, what do you think is going to happen? I'm a little bit worried, yeah. I'm side-eyeing her son-in-law. Yeah. And although the police had kind of walked back that they were not, they have not named any suspects, at least until this, we don't know what they're going to do. We don't have a clue. But, I think a lot of us are. And, by all accounts, it might have been wrong to put it out there, but Ashley, I guess, was not wrong with her information. But again, everybody's innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. So it is just a very sad case. My opinion is, I don't think that one person was in that house by themselves that night. That's my opinion. And I'm going to stick to that. I don't know if we only got like 1 minute. Well, let's just wait on that. I was going to play something, but I don't want to get it all screwed up with 2 or 3 things being shared here. But I just want to take, a few minutes while we're waiting on this press conference to talk about Nancy Guthrie. She's still missing as of today. She still don't have her medicine and it's still not good, right? There have been no confirmed leads yet in suspects or any real breakthroughs yet. Like I said, Ashley, she was leaving and then she come back and she kind of blew up the internet last night with, what was told to her. I mean, no fault of her own. I don't blame her one bit. I don't blame her one bit. That's what was told to her, right? But as far as the police and the law enforcement go, there's been no public confirmation to any suspects yet. And I say yet because I think, in my opinion, that there will be. And I think it will be soon. I think it'll be sooner rather than later. I named this "the ball is in their court" because the ball is in, I think it's more than one that got her out of the house, their court. And I got it in quoting marks, right? I think it's more than one. Now, I could be wrong. Again, wouldn't be the first time, and that's okay too. All of these are our thoughts and opinions, and you are welcome to your thoughts and opinions as well. But honestly, they come out, the children came out last night, and they gave their statements that somebody claimed, they got ransom notes. It was TMZ, and I forgot the other station's name. A lot was done for one person. Cameras taken out, came and were without detection as far as we know, and then remove her from the house. Exactly. And I think either that's why the back door was either removed, either left open, or somebody did that on purpose if it was one person. But in my opinion, I agree with you, Renee. Thank you. Welcome for being here. I think that somebody else was in the house. So while they were there and trying to get her out one door, maybe where the blood dripped, did somebody go out and check something out back and forget to shut the door? Were they being yelled at? I feel it's more than one person, and I have every right to feel that way. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, we know we should feel safe at home, but you can't feel safe at home. You can't feel safe at church. You can't go to the store. You don't never know what's going to happen. You just don't. But this family's living with a lot of uncertainty. And I say this family because we have to include all of this family right now, no matter who, what, when, where. And I thought about it. I know if it was me and if it was somebody in my family, and I'm not saying it is, I'm giving y'all, like, they're already upset because their mom is gone. They're already worried with their mom being, where's she at? She don't have her medicine. And of course, they're not thinking, they don't want to think anything bad has happened to her. But what if everybody was accusing, pointing fingers at somebody in the household? And now the public's starting to do that. Can you imagine how they really feel on the inside? Yeah, I heard they did confirm it was just one person's blood, so it leads me to believe it was Nancy's. Absolutely. I don't know, Casey. I don't really know, to be honest with you. I don't know what everybody else is thinking. I can't pretend to think for everybody else. Because that could go two ways. Let's say it was her husband or her boyfriend or whoever. Okay. Well, there still could have been two people involved. I'm not saying it was him, but it still could have been two people involved, and she know nothing about nothing. Or she could know something about everything, to be honest with you. But at this point, everything's so crazy. I mean, they released the house back to the family, which when that happened, I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. I said, whoa, Nellie, that's a huge mistake. That I said that to myself. But, hey, everybody's like, always, the police know what they're doing. And maybe they still, they probably do. I'm sure they have a reason. There's a reason for everything. Everybody has a reason for everything they do. There's always a method to the madness. And what I tell y'all yesterday? What did I tell y'all yesterday? Do y'all remember? I told y'all a little story. And I also told you, I don't know that the police would go as far as to use that, but did I not tell y'all maybe they set something somewhere or put something here or something there and then they let them go into the family. Now they're putting crime tape up and who knows? I'm just saying, what if then they go question somebody and they know for a fact that they specifically, police can do whatever they want. What if they know they specifically put something here, there, or yonder? Some of y'all, that's above your heads. I'm sorry. But it can happen. It's possible. Things do happen like that. But no, they must have got some kind of chip, honestly. And I don't know. They had the helicopters all of a sudden out of nowhere. The helicopters, the dogs, FBI, whatever. I don't know. I hear they were all back out there pretty quickly. I know one thing, it's dark as heck out there. Yeah, if y'all want to email me anything, smileystory2you@yahoo.com. Yeah, something about this case, I agree. It's not right. It just don't sit right with me. What if Ellie that's possible. It is very possible. It's very possible. And of course, I don't pretend to know what they can and cannot do there in Arizona. I don't pretend to know their laws. And I don't pretend that they're going to always be 100% on the up and up either. I mean, I don't know. Who knows what they might have did or didn't do. But one thing that I do know, the ball is in somebody's court. Now, they didn't know whether to take these ransom notes serious or not. But whoever got them, TMZ and the other channel, I apologize for that. I keep forgetting. Hey, be a ladybug. They immediately turned them over to the police. So, does that mean it was somebody local? I don't know. Does it mean it was real? No. But it could be. It could be. Or it could be somebody just wanting that 5 minutes. It could be somebody just wanting that 5 minutes. Wherever Nancy's at, wherever she is, I hope she knows that she's very much not forgotten. People all over this world, no matter why, that she's never met, never will meet, are hoping for her safe return. That's a fact. I hope she knows we are standing with her. But I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to tell the family, and I'm going to tell her if she's listening. This has been a painful wait. Well, why, and I don't understand why not just go to her daughter? Why not just, she's an elderly lady. Why not just try to scam her? I see, this is why I think there's so many whys and what ifs that could have been done if it was a stranger. Also, but I don't know. Was it a stranger or was it somebody that knew them? Do y'all know what I was hearing this morning? I don't know if it's true. I don't know if it's not true. Now, this entire time, some of y'all might have heard it. I'm not saying it's true or false. Sorry, my phone was ringing. I can't answer it. I don't know if it's true or false. I was just reading it. I thought, oh, man, that is a wild story. We'll get to that soon. I got a lot of stuff. I just don't want to miss this press conference. But there was a, I forgot what even channel. There's been so many. Listen, there's not a lack of anything in this case. Everybody's covering it. Yeah, in my opinion, not a stranger either. But okay, you know how they said that she didn't show up for church and they called the family and some of the family went down? This morning, I was reading where it said somebody in her church says she hadn't been to church since COVID hit. To be honest with you, I don't believe that. However, they said she was doing it virtual or something like that. And could it be she didn't show up virtually on there or she didn't physically show up? That's another thing I would like to know. Let me see if I can find that. Y'all, I don't want to miss that. Red flag me, whatever you got to do. Let me see if I can find this. I know. Let me tell you exactly what it said. I will tell you if I can find it again. Okay. This is, okay. Yeah, I think this is it. Let me open it. Okay. Let me open it and see if I can get to that part. Let's see. Open it now. I'm on my phone. Okay. Okay, because it said anonymous tip. Okay, because there's a lot of stuff on this. Covers fresh details. Hold on, that's not it. Let me get down to the bottom. Hold on. Where was it at? I know it was in this one. Gosh. Hold on just a minute. Gosh. It had to be in this one. It had to be. Oh my God, I knew I should have just copied it and pasted it. Let's see. Savannah's missing mom. Pacemaker gives a new clue. Oh, that's one I missed. Her pacemaker gave a new clue. I was also hearing on NBC, I forgot that guy's name, but he comes on regular TV. If even though her phone was unplugged or she was unplugged, and y'all might not know this, that if they get within a vicinity where she's at, her pacemaker could start going back off. So, or beeping her phone. Beeping her phone is what I'm trying to say. So, that could have been another reason. Hold on, I'm trying to find something. I really am trying to find this. Oh my God, I want y'all to know this because I want y'all to know what the church said. Okay, let's see. Maybe. Anonymous tip. Okay, read more. I know it's under this one. Damn it. My phone keeps closing on me, y'all. But they did say, I will say this, they did say an anonymous tip uncovers fresh new details in the Nancy Gerthy disappearance. That's the one that I was reading from. And I know that it said about her church. Okay, and then also they had a neighbor say that there was somebody creeping around there. I know that y'all saw that already. Where is the one about the church? I didn't know I was going to even say anything about that, y'all, but I think that's important. I can't remember. All right, let's see what this one is. Y'all just keep talking. Sorry. I don't see it now. I don't think that's one that I was going to get. Let me see if I can find it. Jesus. Let's see. I don't think this is it, but this one is, they are asking people, according to Sun, about they are talking to people in her church. Look, didn't y'all find it though interesting? I don't know. I'm still looking, y'all, but who knows where in the heck it is. Hey, Raymond. Hello, everybody coming in. Gypsy. Hello, anybody I missed. I was looking for something and I have no idea where I put it because I didn't know I was going to talk about it. But okay, so they were saying if anybody saw it, you can just send it to me as well. And I'm still looking, but I'm trying to see what they're saying here. There was a station, I forgot what it was, and it was saying that some of her church members said that's a big church that she goes to. Yes, everybody knows her, but somebody either took it up on themselves or it could be a rumor. I don't know. It could be a rumor. You know how these things get started, so I'm not, take it with a grain of salt. But somebody, and it was in writing, I saw it with black and white. I might be blind as hell, but I read it this morning. Excuse me. Somebody from her church, it was being reported that she hadn't physically been in church. She went virtually and hadn't physically been in church since COVID. If that's true or not, I don't know. I'm not saying for 100% fact that's true. I wish I could find that again. Hell, and I may have saw it on Facebook in a group. Who knows? Who knows? I can't save every single thing I get because if I do, Lord, honey, I'd have to have 28,050 phones. How do y'all like that? I couldn't say that again if I wanted to. So, again, so was it just virtually she didn't show up and they were just scared she didn't, sometimes, listen, I understand she's 84 years old. I understand she has health issues. I would be probing the church too and all the people because, hey, BJ, good afternoon. Welcome in, welcome in. Honestly, y'all tell me. People change their minds. I change my mind every 5 minutes. Does that mean somebody needs to come looking for me? No. I could have had a knockdown drag out here yesterday and didn't feel like getting out of bed today, or maybe I just wasn't going to talk to nobody today. Does that mean y'all need to send somebody out here? No. But evidently, somebody feared for her. So there's a lot of questions that's in the back of my head, but there's a lot they're not going to give out yet either. There's a lot they're not going to give out. Now, I'm scared to pull it up. I want to keep this up. So I think this is right here. Let's hear it through and we'll play it where you can see it too and see their faces later. I know y'all have already seen it where her daughter and them spoke. But let's just, while we're waiting, let's listen to it again. Let's listen to it here. I think maybe.
On behalf of our family, we want to thank all of you for the prayers for our beloved mom, Nancy. We feel them. and we continue to believe that she feels them too. Our mom is a kind, faithful, loyal, fiercely loving woman of goodness and light. She's funny, spunky,
Hey,
and
Dawn.
clever. She has grandchildren that adore her and crowd around her and cover her with kisses. She loves fun and adventure. She is a devoted friend. She is full of kindness and knowledge. Talk to her and you'll see.
The light is missing from our lives.
That's Annie.
Nancy is our mother. We are her children. She is our beacon. She holds fast to joy in all of life's circumstances. She chooses joy day after day, despite having already passed through great trials of pain and grief. We are always going to be merely human, just normal human people who need our mom.
I know, don't she sound robotic? I don't know. She's very
Mama.
strange. She may be on
If you're listening,
Xanax or
I need
Valium.
you to come home. We miss you.
Our mom is our heart and our home. She's 84 years old. Her health, her heart is fragile. She lives in constant pain. She is without any medicine. She needs it to survive. She needs it not to suffer. We too have heard the reports about a ransom letter in the media.
Here we go. They opened it up for
As
them.
a family, we are doing everything that we can. We are ready to talk.
There you go. Balls in your court.
However, we live in a world where voices and images are easily manipulated. We need to know, without a doubt, that she is alive and that you have her. We want to hear from you, and we are ready to listen. Please reach out to us.
Yeah, this was last night, Rocky.
Mommy, if you are hearing this, you are a strong woman. You are God's precious daughter, Nancy.
All right, they're fixing to get started.
We believe and know that even in this valley,
Surely he's going to come on in just a minute.
everyone is looking for you, Mommy, everywhere. We will not rest. Your children will not rest until we are together again. We speak to you every moment, and we pray without ceasing, and we rejoice in advance for the day that we hold you in our arms again.
Mm.
We love you, Mom.
We love you, Mom. Stay strong.
We love you. We love you.
So you heard from all the kids, and now the ball is in whoever's court. 1, 2, 7 people. It don't matter.
First, we want the community
The
to
door
know
is
that
to
the
be
FBI
open.
is doing everything
Hold on.
in our power to bring
Where is
Nancy
this at?
home.
All right, they should be coming on.
The FBI is working
What the heck?
alongside the Pima County Sheriff's Department on this incident.
Stop.
In terms of what the FBI
Okay. I just hit random buttons all the time and it just goes crazy. All right, so let me get him back up here. Hold on a minute. Let's see.
Hopefully I get the Reuters feed shortly. What I want to do real quick here.
All right.
Real
Let's
quick,
listen to
let
him
me
for a
do
minute
this.
because they're fixing to come
Let me
on.
just get rid of the countdown clock here.
Welcome in, everybody. Thank you for being here.
Countdown clock, let's get rid of that. Countdown clock, let's get rid of that.
They're fixing to do a press conference.
So, again, it has not started yet.
Agenda free TV.
The sheriff's department has not gone live.
Okay, we
The
thought.
Reuters feed is not live. But there is a podium and people in the room. So any moment now, I should have
Y'all make
video
sure you
for
hit
you.
that like button.
Sorry, I don't have it yet. but
Also,
again, it's not live.
while you're subscribing, liking, and sharing, which is all free, go over to Agenda Free TV and subscribe to Agenda Free TV. And we're going to watch Agenda Free TV's press conference with
Soon.
them. And
know
hopefully
it'll
we'll
be
learn
soon.
some information very, very shortly here. Today is Thursday. He did say he would, Chris Nano said he would come out today unless there was something different. Well, there was a lot going on different last night.
We will see if
But let's see if we get anything
it's
new.
conducted the same way. Will the county sheriff be leading it? Will the federal government take more questions today? Might Kash Patel be there? I don't know. Yeah, I don't have. I was looking before at a stream, and but it was just kind of showing setting up. Again, soon I should get the Reuters feed from the room, but I don't have it yet. As soon as I have it, I will put it on the screen for you.
And I'd rather just go ahead and start at the beginning. So if another channel
No, it has not
sooner,
started yet.
He's saying
I
it
can
hasn't
guarantee
started,
you it has
but
not
sometimes
started.
there's a delay.
Because
right?
I'm looking at a feed of the podium and it has not started.
sees
There's
the
no one
feed.
talking.
But I did get another alert. But I'm choosing to watch him. He's good. I like him. And he lets you share.
One moment here.
I just hope and pray we learn something new. Again, the ball is in their court. I would want to know, one of the questions would be, has anybody
there's a
made
lot of
any
press
contact
today,
about that so-called
obviously.
ransom note? Y'all put in the chat what kind of questions y'all would ask if you were there in front of them. What would y'all ask? Because that would be interesting to know.
I'll take a couple comments while we're waiting for it to start. No, the start time is 11 a.m. Arizona time, 1 p.m. Eastern, which is 3 minutes ago.
3 minutes. We still have 3
Maybe I'll
minutes.
change the headline.
So
to
you got
any
time to
moment.
type in the question you would ask. I would want to know, have they made contact with anybody? Also, to me, and I know they always start out low, but that was a low reward.
Bridget
I think
McGowan says, I pray
$2,500?
it's not bad news.
Janice, see, I thought I sent that this morning, but I guess I didn't. That's why I couldn't find it. But anyway,
Hold on. I have
they were
the
saying since
times on
COVID,
if people are going to post.
they were saying,
fake stuff,
and I don't know if that's true or not. That could be
let's see
rumor.
here.
I read that
It
this
has not
morning,
started yet, guys.
and it was saying that they do know her. It's a big church, but everybody knows everybody. But since COVID, she started going.
Thank you
virtual.
again to all of our moderators. I really
So I don't
appreciate
know.
it.
I don't know if that's true or false. But this is how they reported her missing. They said, regardless, whatever the point, however, she didn't show up Sunday for church, and they
Yeah,
called
it's
a
just an
family
empty
member,
podium right now.
and the family went over there to check on her. Thank you for that.
No real updates so far.
I thought I was the only one that was never
That
on
I've
time.
Maybe we'll get some more in the press conference.
Look, I just hope it's good
Sorry, the
news.
press conference is running late. I do
Nothing
not have
bad.
control over that.
Yeah. And I don't know
What is going
true or
on with the
not.
ransom letters? We don't know if they're legit. We're waiting to hear about maybe that in the press conference.
I'm hoping they'll come out with more in the press conference about the ransom notes too. Janice would want to know when was the last time she was actually in church. That's one of the questions, and that's a good
As
question.
soon as I get the video,
Physically,
I will put it on the screen. Sometimes I get video of the podium beforehand. Today, the Reuters feed has not gone live yet, so I don't have that yet.
There is tons. of
Sorry, I'm
stuff.
literally just looking
I'm
at the
telling you,
streams,
she's a
waiting for them
beautiful
to go live.
woman.
That's all I'm doing right now. I want to get it up for you as soon as I can. Betsy's tag says, I am afraid of this news conference.
But FBI went to
Yeah, I can't use
only
any camera that's out there.
Nancy's
I have to
home
use the ones
again
that I have the
yesterday.
rights to. I can't
Crime Cave went
steal
back up.
some
They
other news
went back over to
agency's camera.
Annie's home. So did they go over there to talk to them about something? Are they going to tell us about this big tip? Is this why so much focus is
Kate
on
Rose says,
her
crazy. We will be taking your
pacemaker?
will Cash speak? I don't know that Cash Patel will be there. We'll be taking again your comments after the press conference.
She is a beautiful lady, Janice. I think she's got very good genes too. I don't think it has. Well, money didn't hurt. Money didn't hurt.
Molly Morgan says they might not have any updates. Hopefully they do, but they might not.
Yeah, they may not. I think they have something though because of last night. I don't think they just come out and told it though.
All right, hang on. I have video.
All right, here
I
we
have
go.
the
I'm gonna
video
shut up.
coming up for you right now. I have the video about to get on the screen for you. I have I have it here. Look at here. We have video for you guys. There we go. There it is. There is the video.
Anybody got any gaff tape in their bag? Anybody got gaff tape in their bag? Anybody gaff tape? No one?
That is the press conference. As you can see, we're just waiting for it to start.
Just waiting for the press conference to start, y'all.
You know what I'm going to do? I think I'm going to take 7
credit
seconds
to
and get a little
Agenda
more
Free TV.
water. If you give me, I'm going to disappear for about 7 seconds.
Thank you. I'm scared if I change it now, though, I will really flub up. You just don't know me in these buttons, girly. I was gonna watch it from CNN, and then I changed my mind. I started getting all this other stuff up from last night, and then I saw him on, and I do like it when he's on. So I do like his channel. But then if I start flipping it, Lord only knows what's going to happen, y'all. I can't promise anything over here on Smiley's World.
Any moment now, as you can see, this will start.
It is a ransom. Yeah, don't touch any buttons. My mods know, do not touch any buttons. Once I get set up, don't touch them. Because we liable to be in Mars. Oh, wow. So, we'll see, but I guess wonder if they made contact. That is my biggest question. So if it really was a ransom, somebody's either downright stupid or really thought they would get away with it, which is something else I want to talk about too. If they name any suspects, I'm not going to name any, but I do want to get into some other stuff.
A lot of press there, clearly. Some press
That was
sitting
interesting,
down
I thought, with this
in the
case.
front there.
People's careers, things like that.
I don't want to say anything. You'll hold me to it.
Ah, I wonder if that was. Oh,
I mean, if it's off the record, totally off.
off.
Everything's off the record?
You know what? I don't know about y'all, but did y'all hear that
Yes.
what's his name? Thomas or whatever? Did y'all hear he's the one that brought her home or no? Well, we'll watch press conference. I don't know. Thank you, Raymond. Thank you for gifting a membership. Woo! Thank you so much, Raymond.
Oh, it's over there. Sorry.
I appreciate you and your support. Whoever got that,
He
please.
said we're about to hear who's speaking. Somebody said we're about to hear who's going to be speaking.
All right. Everybody see that? Okay, so those are the two folks talking today.
All right, get on
And
with
it's
it.
Yankee.
This is what you call delays.
5-minute warning. 5-minute warning. 5-minute warning. We just heard that.
Check.
I can hear them good. Sometimes you can't hear them good. Or maybe they just talk loud. I don't know.
It's now less than 5 minutes.
Honey, I never needed no microphone. I know how to talk loud. Just ask my husband.
I do not know if Kash Patel will be there.
Why do they keep asking that? Who cares? As long as they find this lady, honestly.
Sorry, guys.
All right, guys, just a little bit of housekeeping for you. It's not going to go like it did last time, okay? We're going to call each person who checked in the order that you guys checked in. You're going to get one question, one follow-up question. That is it. If things start getting out of hand, we're going to wrap it up, okay? The sheriff is not doing any one-on-one interviews today other than what he has already
You know,
scheduled,
I
okay?
honestly
If you need
think
something in Spanish, I will do it directly
somebody
after
got
this.
in
If you
his
this flag, let me know.
drawers because I think,
Other than
hey,
that,
Dee,
anyone
hello,
have any
welcome.
questions specifically to the press conference? Go ahead.
I heard a lot of retired police officers and stuff say he's a
Yes,
good
just
person.
direct, state your,
And they can
just
tell he's a
direct
good person, but
questions
they
if
think
you
he
wanted to,
spoke
okay?
way too much.
Anyone else? All right, I appreciate your guys' patience. Sorry if I haven't responded to your emails. My name's Angelica. I'm sure I've been communicating with a lot of you guys, okay? Yep.
Okay.
Send me,
She said it's not going to go like last time. They will call on the reporters. They will call on the reporters.
when I, okay. All right. They're gonna be coming up with one.
In other words, they're going to take control. They're going to show you who's boss. Hey, Wade. Hello, honey. I hope you're doing well. Hope you've warmed up. Good to see you, my friend.
Really should be any moment now because they said 5 minutes a few minutes ago.
Yeah, I'll start in 1 second.
Hey, is everyone pretty much ready to go? Because we are. Yes.
Yep.
Honey, by this time, everybody be telling me what's going
Everybody
on.
good? Coming in soon. Anybody need a white balance? Anybody need a white balance? Anybody? Coming in soon. I'll be in a minute. Just in case. Anybody need a white balance? White balance real quick?
Turn your light on.
Who said aye? Good. Anybody else? Good? Thank you. All right, cool. All right. We're trying.
Hold on. The camera's adjusting. I don't know why it got darker. I can make that brighter if I need to. Looks like the cameraman made the broadcast darker. Again, I can make that brighter. I don't know why that happened. There, I did it. I brightened it up a little bit.
Okay, it's streaming. Good to go. Thank you so much.
God, I wish they would all just start at the same time. Come on, people. I can't believe there was really a ransom note.
If the volume needs to be adjusted, I will adjust the volume when it starts. Have to wait until it starts.
Y'all, now I'm
A lot of people waiting
I'm
to hear
drinking
what the
Coca-Cola
police
now.
have to say about this.
not even my Dr. Pepper.
We'll find out shortly.
One more thing. We're gonna have a couple of things on the screen. Don't freak out about getting shots of that. We'll send that to you guys, okay? So you guys can have them.
A couple of things.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
A couple of things on the screen.
Please email me. It's going to be pcsdpio@sheriff.fema.gov. Okay.
And if anybody thinks they know where she's at or has any information, oh, look at that. Woo!
They said they're going to have stuff on the screen, guys. What's going to be on the screen?
I will duck.
Oh, let me leave that one up. Thank you for that.
What are they going to show on the screen?
You know, I told you they was stupid. You can't get away with that shit, especially not in a case like this. Not in a high profile case like this, honey.
Is that better? Will that be better if you guys can see that? And I'll stand back.
But I told you it was fake. I told you it was real, but it was fake. These people, oh, these people are stupid. Well, I hope they have fun in jail.
Again, if you missed it, they said they're going to be showing stuff on the screen. Okay, here we go.
Uh-oh, what are they going to, because if they're going to show and talk.
Good morning. I hope you've been kind of informed of the rules. I'm going to try to get.
I'll turn it up.
If not all of
Yes,
them,
please.
opportunity to ask a question. But last time we tried this, it was just kind of chaotic, people yelling. So I'd ask that you just kind of be patient with me, pay attention to the questions asked, because sometimes you guys want to ask the same question twice and you get the same answer. So you help yourself get what you can out of this. I'm going to give you one question and a
Get
follow-up.
what you can, people.
But before we get there, I do have some comments. First of all, I want to begin by offering our condolences to our partners at the state Department of Public Safety's tragically lost 2 members last night in a helicopter crash up in.
Oh my God, prayers.
Keep them in your prayers. Colonel Oliver and his team, I'm sure, with a great deal of appreciation. Along the same lines, I think you all saw last night, I'm trying to speak up, not yell. Apparently I talk soft. We saw last night the family, they just hurt, understandably so. And so I really want you to know this entire team here, those behind me, and our community are hurting with you. We really just want Mom back. Okay. Right now, we believe Nancy is still out there. We want her home. Our department, the Sheriff's Department, along with all of our partners at the FBI, have been working around the clock. And we just want her home and find a way to get to the bottom of all of this, just as you do. But I have other partners out there who have stepped up, and you've probably noticed them in the last few days, if not the last few hours, and you're going to see more of that. I made a decision to contact our PCRIT team, and those of you not local, that's our Pima Regional Critical Incident Team. It's made up of law enforcement officers from this entire valley. Pascua Yaqui Police Department, Tucson Police Department, Marana Police Department, Oro Valley Police Department, Pima College Police Department, Tucson International Police Department, Sarita Police Department. There's so many of them, and they are going to help us tremendously. And that's really done because we have so much in front of us still, and we're hoping that, you know, I know the FBI has committed a very large number of men and women to partner with us, work side by side with us. We go do an interview, they're going to be there with us. We're going to go look at some evidence or process evidence, they're going to be right there with us. We're sharing every piece of information, all the data we can to get this thing solved. And it's important that my partners in law enforcement know and understand their roles, because it is very large, complex investigation with a lot of moving parts. And we're at that phase now where sometimes we're waiting, right? We're waiting for analysis. We're waiting for lab reports. But even then, when they come back quickly, for example, some DNA, we rushed what we thought was the best target for DNA. We did a rush through and got some of that back. The results were minimal. I think you all know the blood on the porch. That was one we did. It came back to Nancy. That's what we know. But there's still more items that have been submitted. We just haven't got them back yet. But in the meantime, we're not just sitting on our haunches waiting. We do have a number of leads coming in, and that's why we brought in the FBI for one, but PCRIT as well, to be able to get out there and handle these leads as they come in as quickly and as expeditiously as we can. And every single lead is looked at, every one of them. And so we're gearing up. You probably have some questions about what you've seen in the last couple of days. I'll gladly answer those at that time. But it really is about getting our partners out there. To be fair, when we went to that scene the first night, Saturday night, it was just us. Since then, the FBI and others have asked, can we go and see it as well? And that's what you've been seeing. But it is a very important case to not just me and my team, but this entire community, all of our law enforcement partners. Suspects. I know there's been a lot out there about suspects, and I want to be very clear. At this time, we have not identified a suspect or a person of interest in this case. We are working our best to do that. But to be clear, we have nobody of interest or any suspects that you would consider a prime suspect. We're just not there. We're not there
They're
yet.
not considering a prime
The timeline,
not out
I think
there.
we've got it on the board, do we not? This is a timeline that we have been able to develop with some of the things that we've had processed. Various pieces of electronics that we've gathered. And you look at some of this, and I know you're going to say, well, why did it take you so long to get this to us, Sheriff? Well, because one thing, it's got to go out and be processed at different lab sites. And sometimes that stuff comes back to us. And like you, we have questions. And we say, wait a minute, what is this about? What about this? Could it be that? And so it's sent back, or it's sent somewhere else. So, and that's happening with all of the things we see, that process, that review, and that questioning of, all right, what is it we're looking at? So I'll go over it with you. You can see it on the board there, but at about 5:32 p.m., these are approximate times. 5:32 p.m., Nancy travels to her local family's home for dinner and playing games with the family, and just visiting. At 9:48 p.m., which is very consistent to what we were told by the family, that Nancy was dropped off at home. And we know that because we have a garage door open at approximately, I can't stress that enough, at approximately 9:48 p.m. At 9:50 p.m., that garage door closes, which is that time we assume that Nancy's home and probably going to bed. Sunday morning, early morning at 1:47 a.m., the doorbell camera disconnects. At 2:12 a.m., software detects a person on a camera, but there's no video available. They had no subscription, and therefore it would rewrite itself. It just kind of loops, right, and covers up. That's what our analysis teams have told us. We're not done with that. We'll do all we can, but that's what it says. So it detects a person on camera. Could that be an animal? I imagine that's possible. We don't know that. We just have no video, but we're not giving up on that. 2:28, Nancy's pacemaker app shows that it was a disconnect from the phone. And at 11:56 a.m., the family checks on Nancy and discovers her missing. And at 12:03 p.m., 911 is called in to the Pima County Sheriff's Department. I believe it's about approximately 10 minutes later, 12 minutes later, our patrol teams arrive. They see the scene, and we start our response with our search and rescue teams and our detectives from homicide and various units. In fact, every unit here, I think somebody questioned, how come there's an ICAC member out here or this member? Everybody in our criminal investigations team is a part of this team and part of this investigative effort. I think with that, let me make sure. Now, I want to clarify some things that I may have already done, but yeah, I've gone over with the blood at the front door, the doorbell camera. It was removed. We know that, but we're not confirming that any cameras were smashed or destroyed around the house. I don't know where that came from, but that's something we're not confirming. The car, the car that was at the home, it's just standard investigative practices. It's part of the search warrant scene, court orders. We pull it out of there and do our scene processing with the vehicle. Uber, we did speak to a driver because Nancy, we learned, had been taken the Uber to the family residence, the daughter, for dinner. And we located that driver and spoke with them and got that information. The house, you guys got this, I think, conducting follow-up. I think you said somebody had mentioned that they saw a team out there again last night or yesterday, and that's just, again, what I was talking about before. Our partners wanted a chance to see it
He's being very careful
and examine things themselves, and more importantly,
especially now that he was wrong.
We're constantly following up on things and go, hey, what about this? So we want to go back and check on some things. Here's the other thing. Someone had mentioned there was forced entry. I have no clue where that comes from. We have been very consistent. We are not discussing that at all.
Did he say there was
forced
or was
entry or
not
forced
forced
entry? That
entry?
is something we're just not discussing.
What?
So I don't know where anybody got that information. I think I am about done with my piece of this. I'm going to bring up here Heath Yankee, and I think you know him if you haven't been here. John Edwards is the assistant agent in charge with the FBI here at the Tucson office. Heath Yankee is the special agent in charge for the state of Arizona out of Phoenix, and he will come up and speak.
Thank you, Sheriff. Hello, I'm Heath Yankee, the special agent in charge of the FBI's Phoenix Division. First, I want to let the Guthrie family know that our hearts are heavy for them. After seeing your message last night, it is clear that you and your family are in pain. Please know that we are doing everything to bring your mother home. The FBI is now working this case jointly with the Pima County Sheriff's Department, and we're going to start today by announcing a $50,000 reward for information leading to the recovery of Nancy Guthrie and or the arrest and conviction of anyone involved in her disappearance. And this will be the missing persons with the reward that will be going out. The FBI has agents, analysts, and professional staff employees working day and night with our partners at the Sheriff's Department. We have deployed additional intelligence and agents from our Phoenix office. We have brought in our critical incident response group from Quantico, Virginia. Members from our cellular analysis survey team are here, and they continue to collect and process digital information. We are actively reviewing and analyzing information from all digital sources, which includes banks, social media companies, phone companies, and any other organizations where a digital footprint could have been captured. All this information provides data points and helps put the picture together. And we will be in the community continuing to conduct a thorough investigation with our partners. You heard about us out there last night. We will be back out there today. I would ask the media, give our investigators the space to do their jobs while they're out there. Next, regarding the ransom letter. We are aware of a ransom letter that was sent to the local media and then to national outlets. As with every lead, we are taking it seriously. We are in communication with the family. And while we advise and recommend from a law enforcement perspective, any action taken on any ransom is ultimately decided by the family. Thank you to those in the community that have called in tips. For anyone out there that may have information, no matter how small you think it may be, please report it. You can do so by calling 1-800-CALL-FBI or online at tips.fbi.gov. My next message is to those imposters who are trying to take advantage and profit from this situation. We will investigate and ensure you are held accountable for your actions. We have made one arrest related to an imposter ransom demand, and a complaint will be presented to a magistrate judge later today. You will get more on that from the FBI and our U.S. Attorney's Office here in Arizona when it becomes available. To anyone that may be involved, do the right thing. This is an 84-year-old grandma. This is an 84-year-old grandma that needs vital medication for her well-being. You still have the time to do the right thing before this becomes a worse, much worse scenario for you. Please return Nancy home. Thank you.
You still have time. They've opened up communication again to do the right thing.
List is going to be NBC National, Liz Kreitz. Right here.
Can you walk us through that timeline from when you believe, if you look at this here, from 147 to 228, what you think happened there and what particular software would have detected somebody on camera?
I don't. I know we know the software that was there. But I'm not. I'm sorry. I'm just not in the weeds. I know that. Think of your doorbell cameras. Somebody walks up. My wife's. If I walk up, she gets an alert, and it's usually something like that. A person's detected.
So to understand then, one, does that mean that it was about a 45-minute span that the suspect or suspects would have been on the property? And then also, does this essentially mean that you cooperated with the tech companies and you can officially say that no surveillance video is available?
We know that the tech company that we sent that camera off to, yes, they've said they've run out of ways to recover any video.
Next person's going to be ABC News, Aaron Katersky.
Yeah. I'm sorry, was what 45 minutes?
Can you say it's about a 45-minute span that somebody would have been on the property then from 147 to 228?
Yeah, I think those times speak for themselves, and it is about, like I say, those are approximates. So yes. I'm sorry, who was next? Did you say?
Aaron Katersky, ABC News.
Hi, Sheriff. Thanks very much. Is there information that you are purposefully withholding because of the active investigation that might be leading you in a particular direction?
You know, this is no different than any criminal investigation that we conduct here. Law enforcement has conducted investigations since 1865 here in Pima County. We're always mindful of what it is that's in front of us and what we should release and can release. There's legal guidelines that guide us, but there's also strategy too. So, I'll leave that for you to determine.
Now that you are having such an injection of manpower from the Pima critical incident team and the FBI, we could slow to bring that in at the outset, should all of these resources be brought to bear sooner?
I guess that it's Monday morning quarterbacking. I do it all the time, so you have the opportunity to do it for me. I'll take that hit.
CBS News, Jonathan Vigliotti.
Sheriff over here, has there been any proof of life, and has there been any sign of life?
I'm going to anything to deal with the ransom notes and that I would defer to the FBI, but no, to my knowledge, we're still looking for Nancy.
And for my follow-up question, if I can speak with the special agent, what was it about this apparent ransom note that now 3 days on you first haven't been able to validate, and second, it warranted informing the Guthries of its existence?
So the ransom note that was sent out there, obviously every lead in this case we are taking extremely serious.
But not
Given
everyone is presented to the family. Why this one?
because this was the ransom that came in and it had facts associated with a deadline, with a monetary value they were asking for. So at that point,
what were some of those facts, if you can, because there's been a lot of speculation, as you know, if you could set the record straight.
yeah, the ransom itself, one talked about an Apple Watch and one talked about a floodlight. We're not going to go into specifics. It's very important that we keep this investigation moving forward, and we don't want to put more facts out there that others then can use to try to profit from this.
CNN next, Ed Lavandera.
Hey, Agent, I want to follow up with you real quick on that. There have been, as far as we know, I think 3 ransom notes so far, 1 arrest. Are they all different? Do you think there's different authors behind all of them, or?
So the one that went to the media is the one we are currently investigating and working on. The imposter that I talked about, where an arrest was made early this morning, that there will be more information. We believe there's no evidence to connect this to Nancy's case. It was someone that was trying to profit from it, a total imposter.
And Sheriff, you started off the press conference by saying you believe that Nancy is still out there. Do you have reason to believe that she's still out there alive, or are you fearful of the worst case scenario here, that she won't be found alive?
Well, I'm certainly fearful of that. I think we all are. But it is we operate from a position that until we know she's out there, she's alive, and we're going to continue thinking that way until we find her.
Fox Digital, Mike Reese.
Yeah, sir. Michael,
No, you go ahead, Raymond. You're fine. Thanks,
you've
honey.
identified no suspects. Have you ruled out anyone she was with on Saturday night?
You know, we've talked to so many. I'm sure that my investigators have feelings about this one's clear or this one isn't. But no, I wouldn't say anybody's ruled out yet, because what if I rule you out and then later I learn something else? No.
So my follow-up, you mentioned that you don't know where the reporting of a forced entry came from. Do we know how whoever did this got into her house?
That I would not discuss with you anyway.
Fox News, Paul Morrow.
Question for Agent Edwards, if I may. Agent Edwards, will Bureau be submitting the DNA for investigative genealogical investigation relative to maybe getting a relative, somebody if you will?
I would say the DNA aspect of this case is being handled by the Pima County Sheriff's Department right now. However, should we get to that point, yes, that would be an option for the FBI to assist.
A quick follow-up. Does the ransom note that you're working establish any communication protocols?
No, it does not. And that is what I think is important, that if someone has Nancy and is demanding the ransom, that there is communication with the family. We talked about has been no proof of life, and there was no other demands within that letter. So they're still waiting for communication.
ABC affiliate, Ashley Holden. Right here, Ashley Holden.
When you say the doorbell camera was disconnected, do you believe that camera was taken?
We do not have it in our possession. We've not located it.
And then a follow-up. I know that we've been hearing a lot about ransom notes. We were also hearing in that video that was put out by the Guthrie siblings, and I don't know if this is a question for the FBI or yourself, but the challenges of seeing an image and knowing that it's real. could one of you address that? Has the family received correspondence, any images, videos?
So we're not going to go into facts regarding this part of the investigation. I think part of that message was with AI these days, you can make videos that appear to be very real. So we can't just take a video and trust that that is a proof of life these days because of the advancements in AI and trying to actually get a proof of life that we can verify. But we're not going to go into anything the family may or may not have received.
He's telling the truth, and people can be placed anywhere anybody wants you to be nowadays.
Impact in your investigation, are we mirroring that timeline?
I'm sorry, one more time.
So in regards to the timeline in the ransom note, are we mirroring that timeline? And is that playing a part in the investigation?
We're not going to go again into specifics of that part of the investigation with the ransom note, other than what we've put out there. We've been transparent. We're talking about we are working that ransom demand, but we don't want to go anything further than that could impact any opportunities. So thank you.
Is there any additional physical evidence at the crime scene other than the technology that you guys are using for this timeline? Is there anything else that's helping you guys other than really the technology?
Well, I think I said on day one is that it's technology that's going to really help us solve this case. But no, I mean, you know, we did do a process of that scene for biological evidence. So we're still hopeful that maybe something will show up there as well.
Arizona Republic, Richard Relas.
Agent Yankee? Yes. We saw on the scene, I believe it was you, taking a tripod into the home of the sister. How involved was the FBI, if at all, in creating the video? Any advice for the family?
I would say we use our expertise and provide consultation and advice anytime a family would ask for our advice in a kidnapping. It's ultimately the family's decision of what they put out and any messages they put out. But we were, obviously, you're all documenting every move we make. We were there last night in talking with the family.
And they're being very careful what they say today.
You said the blood was found on the porch and on the front stoop. Just wanted to verify that.
I say porch, front stoop. It's all in that same general area by the front door.
Absolutely.
Front door, yes.
Somebody said that they've already said way too much.
And the fact that it was her blood, as you say, what would her medical commission do with her recovery if she indeed bled out or was bleeding when she left the house?
Well, again, I've got to be careful for HIPAA, but I would say this. We know she is in need of medication, daily medication. And we also know that this is day 4 or 5 and still we don't know that she's getting her medication. That could in itself prove fatal.
No, that'll be that question. For KGUN News, we have Craig Smith or Athena.
I'll get that for you. I'll get that.
Craig?
KGUN, Athena.
Oh, okay.
Have you been in communication with anyone who you believe could be the kidnapper?
You know, it goes back to what we talked about. Nobody's eliminated, but we just really don't have enough to say, this is our suspect, this is our guy, we know, or our gal. We just don't know that. And it's really kind of reckless to report that someone is a suspect when they could very well be a victim. It just, I bring to you, to the media, I plead with you to be careful of what it is we put out there, because we don't have anybody here listed as a suspect, and you could actually be doing some damage to the case, but you can do some damage to that individual too. This is social media is kind of an ugly world sometimes.
And how far out have you expanded your search?
You know, I would tell you this, look, nothing's off the table. If we get a lead that there's somebody, hey, you've got this over here or over here, we're going, and that will expand and expand and expand. I think the FBI, with their billboards, they're now planning to put those up at every state around here, at all of our neighboring states. So, yeah, we use you, the national media, the FBI with their national outreach, to affect that for us. But as far as the actual investigation, naturally the scene is the primary, and we just keep spreading it out as we get more and more leads.
Court TV, Cody Thomas.
Hi there, Sheriff.
Yes.
Actually, my question is for Agent Yonke. You know, we saw Savannah Guthrie and her sibling family put out that video last night on Instagram addressing, you know, the tragedy that this is, but also addressing the ransom letter saying they're ready to talk. My question is, did the FBI or any other agency help them craft that message to put out on social media?
Like I said to the previous question, we have an expertise when it comes to kidnappings. And when families want advice, consultation, expertise, we will provide that. But the ultimate decisions on what they say and how they put that out rests with the family itself.
And as far as suspects, I know we haven't identified one, but what type of suspect or suspects do we think we're dealing with here?
At this time, like the sheriff has said, there is no primary suspect identified, so it could run the gamut. So.
KPNX, Troy Hayden.
Are you actively investigating the son-in-law in this case? So there were reports earlier this week and you refuted that. You said you haven't eliminated everybody. Have you eliminated him or come close to it, or are you actively looking at him?
We're actively looking at everybody we come across in this case. Everybody. We would be
So
irresponsible
nobody's off
if
the
we
table,
didn't talk to
and
everybody.
he's just said
the Uber
it was
driver,
direct gas.
the gardener, the pool person, whoever.
He hadn't took
Everybody.
him off the table either. Just saying.
It's so cliche, but everybody's still a suspect in our eyes. That's just how we look at things and think as cops. Does that mean we have a prime suspect? No, and the family's been very cooperative. They've done everything we've asked of them, and we want that relationship to continue. And sometimes people can be mean out there, and that can really harm us and harm our efforts.
Did you find blood anywhere else in the home besides the porch?
The only DNA evidence we've got back is on the porch. We prioritize things and we rush things, and those items we put out to a lab to rush it. And even then it's 2, 3, 4 days. The other items could take 10 days, 20 days, but we saw the importance of that blood. It came back to Nancy.
So it was
and
only there, it wasn't anywhere else in the house?
I don't know that. We processed the house for biological evidence, and we've not gotten anything back.
Newsmax, Sarah Williamson.
Hi, Dad. My question is just piggybacking off our colleagues here about how far this search has gone. When it comes to doorbell cameras, you say technology plays a critical role in this. Have you been actively door knocking the neighbors and businesses and collecting those doorbell cameras? And is there anything that has come up there? How far?
I can't tell you whether things have come up or not, but we have door to door. I think we're still doing door to door. Not just in that neighborhood, but other neighborhoods. It just as leads come in and take us somewhere, we're going to do those things.
Okay, and just to follow up as well in regards to the video that was released by Nancy Guthrie's children last night, just to clarify, that was not coordinated with any law enforcement beforehand, and that you hadn't seen that video before it was released.
The FBI is handling all things with the ransom.
I think the answer was yes, we were there. The media was there. We can help coordinate, provide that consultation, but that is the family's decision of what they film and what they put out.
Fox 10, Justin Liu.
Agent Yonke, this one's for you. Following up on that video that was released yesterday, it said, ultimately any further action is decided on by the family. Since then, have they expressed any more interest and more efforts to try and get in contact with who is behind the ransom letter? And do you have a crisis or any sort of hostage negotiator with your team for that type of situation if it moves forward?
So the two parts to that question I think it's pretty clear. The family wants to be contacted. They know time is of the essence. And if those that may have Nancy are watching this, the family is ready to talk, get proof of life, because there has been no contact after that ransom note went to the media. For your second question, yes, we have crisis negotiators. That is part of our team here locally, along with the personnel we brought in from Quantico, and they will be part of it. But we're not going to go beyond that of any specifics.
Sure. Now, taking down the crime scene perimeter after Monday's investigation and really opening access to that property to everyone else. Was that something you would do differently looking back, knowing that, federal authorities also conducted a search yesterday? Would you have kept that perimeter up, knowing that?
Monday morning quarterback, I probably would have, but I'll say this. We processed the scene. We got what we thought was complete. My team did that. I have to have all the faith and trust in their abilities and their skills, and I think they went through that pretty well. But because another agency now steps in and wants to assist, we're just like with you, we're an open book. Absolutely. How can we help? One of the things people don't see, I heard your question about, and we left and then others could walk up. When we process a scene and we're done, we return that scene to in this case, the homeowners, the family. And we don't just go march back in there. We call the family again and get permissions to go back to the home. So yeah, there's, again, Monday morning quarterback, absolutely. I probably could have held off on that. We knew that the FBI, we've worked with them before in a lot of cases, and we felt like they could be of help in this, with particularly the forensic analysis we use in a number of things. But at the start of this thing, we weren't sure what we had. And as the day progressed, we realized that there could be more to this. And we started in that. Remember, it was a search and rescue mission the first few hours. And we transitioned that over to a criminal investigation. With that, brought in our partners from the FBI and others.
Univision, Claudia Ramos. Univision, Claudia
I was
Ramos.
actually going to ask about that. We saw the message yesterday.
Are you next?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Following up on that, we saw the message from the president yesterday. Have you personally received any communication from him or
No, and I wouldn't expect that. He too is a busy man, right? And I would say this: we thank him for him opening up his entire law enforcement team, as was put out yesterday. And we know, I know my local reporters here know we've always worked well with all of our partners in law enforcement. Maybe it's something unique to Southern Arizona and the rest of the country doesn't see that, but this isn't new for us. We've done this. Gabby Giffords, I headed up that investigation many years ago, and we worked side by side. Could not have got things done if we weren't with the FBI.
I'm sorry. I just don't like my intelligence messed with, and I know y'all don't either.
I have not.
And don't let me forget.
I work closely with the Mexican consulate. There's other consulates, being the sheriff, but no, I've not heard from them.
Listen, I don't know how it is in Arizona. And I can understand not saying stuff, and I agree with Lady for Justice 100%. I'm glad he's being careful, and I'm glad he's not saying, but just don't come out here and insult the world. Just don't do that. Because what I mean by that is, and what's really got me is this. He has said it 2 or 3 times, but this last time he said it, and I'm not going to rewind it, y'all can. But he's talking about everything is up to the family. When the family releases and the family says you can do this and the family says you can do that. The family. In a real world, money or no money, if that's the case, if it was up to the family, and I'm not saying nobody's a suspect, but can we all get real? Now that's really pissed me off. If it was up to the family and families committed crimes, which they do, and I'm not saying in this case, because I don't know in this case what the hell's going on. But if it was up to the family, if the police go back in the house, if the police put this out, if you can do it, and we call the family first, and oh, baby, can we do this? Is it okay? Gosh darn, crimes will be committed every 5 seconds everywhere, and nobody would be arrested. There'd be so many criminals and hoodlums and heads cut off out here in this world, it'd be crazy, and nobody be in jail. It would be a free run. I think that's the only thing that's pissed me off so far about this case.
Arizona, Univision Madrid.
Hi, Sheriff. My question is, do you know, it's a two-part question, do you know what medication Nancy uses? And have you checked the local pharmacies or pharmacies around the state where they bought her say this medication to keep her alive, to keep her healthy, while it was still important for her?
So we do know what medications, and we have contacted pharmacies. Probably need to go back to just make sure that they didn't. Maybe we contacted them early on. I know that night, Sunday night, Saturday night, Sunday morning. I know we were doing all the hospital checks, and that check was continuous every hour, going back out and physically in person. Deputies were going to each local area hospital and asking them to check their logs.
My second question here is, I know you're looking for her in Pima County. Are you looking for her across the state now? And so if there's a particular area that you're focusing on right now?
Well, we're looking for her everywhere, right? The FBI just made an arrest on a tip that we got that we thought there could be something here. There's it's statewide. The billboards are going to be out there across the country. We take leads from everywhere, and where those leads take us, we'll get there.
MS Now, Alex Talbot.
Agent Yankee, do you have any reason to believe that Nancy Guthrie may be being held outside of the country? Is that something that you ruled out at this point?
We don't have any of that information. We haven't ruled anything out. Like the sheriff said, we will follow the facts wherever they take us, whether it is outside of the state of Arizona or over the border. We will follow the facts and go there, but we have no indication anything over the Mexican border.
And you mentioned on the ransom note there were details about the Apple Watch and the floodlight.
Yep.
The ransom notes that were sent out to TMZ, KGUN, and KOLD, are they all the same ransom note? Do they contain the same details in each of those individual ransom notes?
The ones that I am tracking and aware of were the same that went to TMZ also.
News Nation, Brian Enton.
Agent Yankee, sorry.
Yes.
When did the first ransom note arrive? And the reason I ask is because the Apple Watch has been in the news and on social media, and you could see like floodlights on video. So was it before those things were out in the world?
I don't have the specific time frame as I sit here today of what time it came in, but that you are right. Anyone could see a floodlight hanging down, could have seen some of those things. The watch has been talked about, so that timing is tricky, but that's why we're taking it serious no matter what and following the leads on that. But I don't have the time frame that the first note came in as I sit here today. Thank you.
And my follow-up is for the sheriff. In the house, were there any signs that someone tried to clean up or maybe destroy evidence?
I can't talk about the crime scene, so I'll give you another shot, another question.
My other question is, I heard the agents say that it was a joint investigation now. At the other press conference, the FBI said they were assisting. Is it joint now? I mean, are both agencies in charge now?
Look, there's no ego here. We in this part of the country, we'll take anybody's help. It's not about who's in charge. From day one, when we contacted the FBI, they were that gracious to say, whatever you need. And so that's really it. And they're great partners, just as my other local law enforcement brethren. I didn't even have to ask. That's what's really amazing. I haven't had to call anybody. They've called me. Sheriff, what do you need?
Arizona's Family, Brianna Whitney.
Sure. I know you had the crime scene process. You said you went back out there. Your partners wanted to see it, but you guys were actively taking out evidence yesterday. Was there something you missed the first time, or did you get a new piece of information that led you to believe you needed to go back out and take more than you had that first day?
You know, I know that we get information that will come, and this is just any crime scene that we look at. We may go out to a crime scene and think we've got it all, go analyze evidence, and something comes back and says, hey, did you check this? We're not going to just say, oops, and not go. Absolutely. In this instance, it really was the FBI just wanted to go, hey, can we take a look at it?
Are you worried about that being contaminated at all because there was people in that?
You know, I'll let the courts worry about that. We will certainly be open to the courts of anything that's been removed from that house, and we follow the rules of laws. We get court orders and go back and reapply for another warrant if need be. All of those things we're very careful of.
Arizona Public Media, Lynn Boyd.
Ellen Boyd over here. In that news release yesterday, there was a report of a trespasser. Has the Guthrie family dealt with any incidents, threats, whether it's trespassing, social media threats, anything of that nature?
I am not aware of any of that. I know that we, as with any case, again, we would look at all of the background of calls to those families or their residents and see if there's anything there, or even in that neighborhood. Those things have been looked at. I don't know of anything that was reported in even the last 30 days or 60 days. Nobody's come to me and said, hey, next door you had a burglary.
Follow up for the neighborhood where Nancy's home is. Can you give any more details on that trespassing incident?
I don't have them.
Telemundo, Jesus Gonzalez.
It's for the FBI. I just have a question. Can we confirm if the FBI director is coming for the investigation?
Yes, Director Patel is being briefed several times a day on this investigation back in DC. He does have a trip scheduled to Tucson that was pre-scheduled before this, but he is receiving consistent and constant updates from our team here.
He's coming today?
He is not coming today.
And before you go to the next one, I know you may have had a follow-up question, but I think I overstepped you. So if you wanted to ask, I'll give you that opportunity.
Thank you, sir.
Absolutely.
Thank you. At what point do you deem the ransom note not credible if there is no communication that follows up since you received it? Like, what's that timeline where you say, no proof of life, there's no more, this isn't credible?
I think we start to look at what the deadlines were in the note. First, I think was 5 o'clock today, and then it had a second deadline after that. So we are continuing in a normal kidnapping case. There would be contact by now, trying to discuss that. But those are the timeframes we are looking at as we move forward.
Are you able to say that second deadline that was given?
I don't have that with me right now. So thank you.
Sorry about that. Entertainment Tonight, Denny Directo.
Yes, my question actually is for Agent Yonke. There was a report that said the ransom came from an email and that the FBI was actually looking into the IP address. Any updates on that?
Nothing that I can release. Thank you.
And then also, there's also conflicting reports about who was the last person to actually see Nancy and drive her home. We know she took an Uber to Annie's house, but can you confirm whether it was Annie or her son-in-law Tommaso who took her home that night?
I think the timeline that the sheriff provided was a family member, but
Just family. We're going to go with family.
Record TV, Landry Piera.
We are professionals, so we're not familiar with the area. So we think that it's a remote area. So my question is, why is it so hard to track a car or something suspicious that have passed through the area at that night? How difficult it is? Because probably cameras around or something.
Yeah, you're talking about the challenges we face in some of being in a rural area like this. Those are challenges we face all the time. We'd love it to have all the cameras in what we would consider a more urban nature type area. But once you get out into the community, that's not the only part of Tucson that is that way. And we just find ways to overcome those challenges. We don't just disregard it. We still look at ways to find for example, Ring cameras that might catch just a piece of something goes by, it doesn't catch the whole car. Those kinds of things. We don't give up. We still go out.
But not, at least a car that came out
I
at the night.
I
Far
can't.
away. I mean, like miles from the house.
We have cameras all over, and those things are being reviewed.
Arizona Republic, Richard Willis.
I'm a different person.
Did he get two?
It's the second one.
Was that you?
Oh, sorry.
No.
We all right. Thank you guys for keeping us honest. No, you already asked your question, so we're gonna go to the New York Times with Reese. And I apologize for getting your name wrong here, Reese. Tebow?
No, you're close.
Tebow.
Hi.
The 212, the camera that detected movement at 212, was that a different camera than the one that was disconnected at 147, and where was it pointed?
We don't know that. We don't know which camera that was. That when we did the software, it just told us that a person was detected. But I'm unaware of which camera that was.
So there were multiple cameras, and you're not sure.
Sure, there were multiple cameras at the home.
Okay. And is there a possibility that this is not a ransom situation? And if so, what else could it?
Your guess is as good as mine. I would say absolutely there's a possibility that this is nothing to do with the kidnapping. But we cover all angles. We're not going to dismiss something until we actually know for a fact that it's one way or the other.
People Magazine, we have Danielle Walker.
So I wanted a little more clarity to follow up on his. Is there anything more you can say? Was this actually targeted or not? Do you have any?
That's why we have the FBI to look at those areas where there may have been a target. Maybe it is a kidnapping. But no, we don't have anything to rule that out or to say it is.
And as far as the ransom notes, there was a part in there about Bitcoin. Are you looking into that now, investigating?
Yes, that's part of the investigation.
Can you go and elaborate any further if you found anything or if there's any ties or any suspects tied to that Bitcoin?
There is not at this time.
Associated Press, Joel Goldendera.
Hi, Sheriff. Just to follow up to
You're Joe?
I'm sorry?
You're Joe?
Goldendera.
Oh, I thought you said Joe. Okay.
Just to follow up to a prior question, you had said early in the investigation that authorities don't believe Nancy Guthrie was targeted. Why don't authorities think that Nancy Guthrie was targeted?
Who said that? Who said they didn't
You had
think
said
she?
that early in the investigation.
Boy, if I said I missed, I absolutely
Janice,
misspoke. I've never thought she
traveled.
was
I'm
or
not sure.
wasn't targeted. We've always believed that is certainly a
Leo's,
possibility.
the son-in-law's from
You'd
Italy,
be
though.
silly not to think that.
I'm not sure which one
If
you're
somebody
asking.
disappears in the middle of the night out of their home, you can understand where I'm coming from. But no, if I said that, obviously I misspoke or maybe somebody misheard me. But I've never believed that she was or was not a target.
Is there anything more specific you can say about what you believe the motive to be for this kidnapping at this time?
Motive's always going to be a question, and we'll know more as we go what that motive is. But right now, my guesswork is as good as yours.
And then we also have the final one will be from KVOA here in Tucson, Monica Garcia.
Okay, so let's talk about that 5 p.m., Tuesday 5 p.m. deadline today. Is that the deadline? Okay, that's for FBI.
Yes.
Can you just give us some sound on that? Because that's a big deal. That's within hours about that 5 p.m. deadline per the ransom note. And then what's supposed to happen after that?
So the ransom note that was distributed to the media did make a demand for 5 p.m. today. And if a transfer wasn't made, then I think a second demand was for next Monday. We're not going to go beyond that, but that was the ransom note the media received.
Did it indicate what would happen if they didn't meet that ransom? Did they?
We're not going to go into those specifics. Thank you.
5 p.m. Eastern, I'm sorry, I know it's not Arizona. It's 5 p.m.
I don't.
It's 5 p.m.
And then, sorry about that. Inside Edition, Jim Murray.
Special Agent Yonke, given the fact that the FBI participated in the creation of this family video, does that suggest your belief that the author or authors of that ransom note, in fact, have Nancy Guthrie?
Again, we're taking the ransom note serious, and we are following that part of the investigation.
And does the fact that there is a ransom note suggest to you that Nancy Guthrie was taken specifically because she's Savannah's mom?
There's nothing to indicate that.
Thank you guys so much for all of your questions. The sheriff does have just one more note about what happens next year. Or what doesn't happen next?
Well, it's what happens for us is we're going to continue working. For you though, I hope this worked out well for you. But right now, I have no plans to schedule any further press conferences unless we have some real evidence or something to bring up to you. It's pretty pointless to just keep hounding the same things over and over. And as Special Agent in Charge Yankee said, please give us some space, and that's not just physical space. Give us some space, give my team some time, because these things do take time and they are difficult. And everybody out there is really working hard. And mistakes are going to be made. And if I made them, mea culpa. It won't be the first mistake I've ever made. But more important than me is we want Nancy back. That's the key. Okay. So thank you very much. And thank you for your concern in this.
Thank you. Thank you.
Wow.
If you were looking for the other person that was up here, it was John Edwards, JONEDWARDS.
Hang on a moment.
Assistant Special Agent in Charge.
Thank you.
Yep, no problem.
Okay.
So,
Is there any information on the imposter?
let's just listen in. Let's listen in.
I'm gonna pause that a minute. We might or might not get his feelings. I don't know. That was a lot. That was a pretty long press conference. But he did say he was not going to come out again unless they had something. He didn't have any plans to anyway. And they are just going to, I guess, play it by ear and, but there is a 5 o'clock deadline. They did say that there is a 5 o'clock deadline as far as that ransom note was made. And then if that's not made, the second one said something about Monday. Wow. So the press conference said the family's really hurting, which is, we expect that. The family's really hurting and they want their mom back. All the police want her back. The FBI, everybody want her back. They want Miss Nancy back. They have contacted the critical care team at this time. It is a critical matter. It's a very critical matter, Nano said. He said there's a lot of moving parts and they're waiting on more DNA. But they do know for a fact that the blood on the front porch that came back belongs solely to Nancy. Right? Every single lead is looked at. All the suspects at this time. There is no suspects at this time. They're not saying anybody's a suspect. They're not ruling anybody out at this time either. They're not considering anybody a prime suspect. So whether they are or not, they're not telling us. They're not going to tell the public. And that's probably a good thing. They said she went in the garage after dinner, after she got home, and he left it at she was just brought home by a family member. So there's been a little conflicting stories out there about that. At first, it was Annie that brought her home, and then it was Tommaso. It could have been both. But now they're just not putting that out there. They're just going to leave it as a family member. And she did take an Uber. She took an Uber to dinner to meet with dinner with her daughter, which to me, I don't know about y'all, but that was kind of strange. Especially being that the daughter and son-in-law only live less than 10 minutes away. But that's just me. That's just me. We learned that one of the cameras did detect, it seemed like a person around 2:28, but they couldn't catch, who it was. No. I take that back. 2:12. She went in the 2:12, and about 2:28, the pacemaker disconnected. 2:28 is when the pacemaker disconnected, I believe. It was fascinating, the guy on NBC today, who was literally telling all about the pacemaker because he has one. Yeah, and Roxy, everybody's going to have their public opinions. Public opinions are different, but, they're not naming any suspects. I have a pretty good feeling that they suspect, someone at least, or two or three. I mean, I think that they, in their heart and in their detective work, because your heart's not going to arrest anybody. If it did, again, we'd all be locked up. But I think that they, like he said, they don't have the evidence to name anybody. He didn't say they didn't have any evidence. He just said they didn't have strong enough evidence. Hey, Seth. Good morning. What do you think about all this, sir? What do you think about this press conference business? You can tell us what you think. I just think her family spoke with deep emotion, and that's what he said. Annie, to me, though, she sounded a little bit off. I think she might have been on a little nerve medicine or something, but that's just me. But he said that they spoke with deep emotion. They are hurting, and everybody, you got to remember, hurts different. I'm saying that part, but like he said, and I have to agree with him, they just want her back home. They want the mother back home. They want Miss Nancy back home. The neighbors want their friend back home, their neighbor. They just want her home. And it's being treated as a critical matter. So they've got critical response team involved now. And he said there's many moving parts. Right? He said there was many moving parts. Now, police did confirm they're waiting for full DNA test results at this time. But they know that the blood found on the porch was that 100% of only Nancy's. But as they said, not all laboratory testing has been completed. And they stress that every single lead is being pursued very carefully. He wanted to make it very clear several times. They're not publicly naming. This is how he said it. They're not publicly naming a prime suspect. I kind of found that interesting, the way he worded that. So they're not taking anybody off the table. They're not putting anybody out there on the table. But then he said they're not publicly naming a prime suspect at this time. Timeline details shared. They indicated Nancy entered through the garage door. Again, that was at 2:12. No video footage of that. So I wonder if they didn't have cameras in the back or at the garage door. I don't know. I'm not sure exactly what that meant. But at 2:28 is when her pacemaker stopped, and it was later found disconnected from her phone. They wouldn't really get into the crime scene much. Brian Etten, I agree with you, Janice. He asks a lot of good questions. He's always on it. He asks a lot of good questions. The investigation is ongoing, as we know. But my personal opinion is still this, and this is my personal opinion only. My personal opinion, and it's just personal, and it don't matter, but I'm going to speak it, is that this situation appears, and I wish somebody could have asked that, and I'll get to that in a minute when I get to the medicines, but it appears to be pre-planned. Again, I could be wrong, but we must allow police and investigators to do their work and rely on what they confirm and their confirmed facts, because we don't want to mess this up. And they have already early on said it is a crime scene. They put the reward now at $50,000. Is that a lot? No, especially not for somebody like her, but it's better than $2,500, right? If it was pre-planned, I don't think they're interested in that. Myself personally, again, this is my own personal thoughts. I think that they personally don't care about the ransom. I mean, somebody did a ransom there is a ransom letter. Okay, let's get that straight. There is a ransom. There really is a ransom note. Okay. And then there was a imposter fake ransom note. That person got arrested because they knew that person was fake. But I don't think, in my opinion, it's about money ransom. If it's about money or ransom, I think it's more about, I'm just going to say it, and I'm not pointing fingers because I don't know. There could be a million people in the family. I'm just going to say inheritance. But who's to say? Who's to say? Police said they're not confirming that any cameras were smashed. Sometimes I start to get aggravated with them walking stuff back. In my opinion, I think they did get chewed out. I think a lot of these retired cops and stuff did speak out and say he spoke too much. He's a nice gentleman, blah, 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 all those things. And it's sad, but it's true. But still, to walk back things like that is just blowing my mind. And that he did, in my opinion. But they did say that they spoke with the Uber driver. That's where we got the Uber driver. He was asked. Nancy took an Uber to dinner to meet her children. So he says he don't know where everybody got it, but there was no signs of forced entry. What do y'all think about that one? Y'all tell me in chat what you think about that, because that is weird. Isn't ransom dangerous? Yeah, it absolutely is. Where'd Casey go? Yeah, Casey's in here. I just don't see her now. Probably I want to make sure I didn't miss a question or something. But yeah, it's something they didn't want to talk about. So I don't know. It's a lot. It's a lot to take in. Someone already knew codes. Yes. See, that's the same thing I asked. That was one of the first things I asked in Sebastian's interview with Chris and Katie. What about housekeepers or this one or that one, and they said everybody that had the codes they know about or whatever. I forgot how it was said, but that's what I was getting at. Who has codes to your house? I mean, the doors was locked. Well, in Nancy's case, the back door was open and the sheriff is saying, and the cameras look gone, or not my words, but I'm going to use them, smashed or gone or whatever. But the sheriff is saying he don't know where that came from. And I guess they don't want that out there because he's saying that it was no break-in. It didn't look like a break-in. Well, to me, he walked that back from the other day. I don't know. I'm just not liking all that. I don't know. The first thing he said was, and I like him. I like this sheriff. But the first thing, did I get it wrong? Did he not say somebody come in and swooped her up out of her bed? And, I'm just saying. Look, I'm only saying that not to be mean. I'm saying it because I think they know a lot more than they're willing to put out right now. That's what I think. But yeah, ransom is dangerous. But that's why I say, I mean, really, Seth's in here, he's listening, he heard from the jail. I mean, if he could just pop in and say, look, people, if you're around people like that, this is not the movies, though. Let's get that straight. This is not the movies. But it's not every day you hear about no freaking ransom. Look, you got to be a fool, a real fool, even if it is true. And I'm sorry, I'm just going to say it. And if they're listening, hey, thank you for listening to Smiley. Please turn Ms. Nancy over, which I highly doubt they are. So there. Don't go freaking out, everybody. Listen, I would think they would be crazy to do the bullshit about a ransom. Anybody, I don't care who you are. I would more so go for the reward than I would a damn ransom. It's not risky for them. It's risky for everybody. But it's crazy, man. This is really like something out of the movies. This is really crazy. I don't know what else is going to happen. I just hope Miss Nancy's okay. Because the bottom line is she's 84 years old and we're going on, is this day 5? We're going on day 5, y'all. And she does have grandkids that love her, and she does have family that loves her, and she does have people that love her. And nobody wants this to happen. If my mom was still alive and that was my mom or my grandma, I would be going nuts. But I would do anything. And that's what people are counting on. And that's the sad part, because people do take advantage of this. And look, they think, oh, we're going to do Bitcoins, we're going to do this, and we're going to do that, and we're going to scam people. Well, just keep on and see how it works out for you. That's all I got to say. Just keep on. Let's go ahead. We've been on here a long time. Let's go ahead and watch. I told you we would watch this. I know y'all did last night, but let's watch it since I didn't come on. Hold on a minute. Well, before we do that, let's see what he's saying. Let's go back to him just a minute. Let's see what he says about it. I don't think it'd be fair if I didn't. Hold on.
LB says if the kidnapper took the
Let's get his
doorbell,
thoughts
does
on
that
it.
mean
We
the
watched his
kidnapper
stuff. Let's get
knew
his
her
thoughts.
subscription was inactive? The doorbell camera? Yeah, so I mean, it's a good question. I don't know. What I do know is police said the doorbell camera was removed and that they do not have video of any kind of person at the scene, and that they have not gotten video from the house yet. Does that mean that whoever did this knew about her house, knew about how all this stuff worked, and made some kind of plan to disable all the cameras? Or did the person kind of just do it and it worked out that way? I can't speak to that. I don't know what kind of knowledge whoever is responsible had of how things worked at the house and how detailed their plan might have been to prevent cameras from working. It's a very good question. I cannot speak to that. Songbird says, I think someone knew the home.
I agree. Now, whether it was workers, again, nurses, aides, housekeepers, we don't know.
Thank you again to all of our moderators. We have moderating right now. Janet.
Something very important that the cop said, that Nano said, that I wanted to bring attention to. Did y'all notice how when he said he was not naming a prime suspect, not now, yada, yada, 2 or 3 times the suspects was brought up. But it was how he emphasized on a male first and how he said it. Sometimes you got to listen and read between the lines how he said it. I just wonder if anybody else picked up on that or not. I'm not fully convinced that it was only one person in the house. I could be wrong, but it was the way he emphasized on a male first. Again, I think they know a lot more than they're saying. Did you notice that too, Janice? Okay, so I'm not just going nuts. I'm already nuts. But I listened very carefully when he said that, and I just wanted to make sure somebody else heard that besides me. I didn't timestamp it. I don't know where it's at. But let's see if this guy right here talks about it, and y'all sub up to him. He's got a lot of questions going on over there. We'll listen for a few minutes, and then I got some other things I want to go over.
B and Ruth and Beth Mythical are all moderating. I appreciate it over there on YouTube. On Twitch, LB Prairie Dawn, I Got That Fire, Jay Joanna, Matthew Kohai 3, Sarah, and Surly Dev. Thanks also Linda Belk, Larry, and Misha, who moderate for us on X. And Paul Anderson, Kay Lowry Body, Margaret Riley over on Facebook. Some of our viewers are mentioning cartels.
They said they had no evidence.
You know, it's
over the board.
I have no idea what happened. Sometimes with these things, my instinct is always to say simpler explanation over more complex explanation. You could imagine some sort of international criminal ring that removes her from the country. I can't rule that out. It's a much simpler explanation if it's, say, some local person.
I don't think it's that, but that's just me and my opinion.
But it's a much more complex explanation when you start getting into like taking her out of the country. I don't know, though. Who knows what happened? It's obviously extremely concerning. And also, so the blood, something I haven't heard discussed much. Brian Enton, I don't know the details about the blood. Brian Enton posted a video a couple days ago where News Nation had a camera that went to the front door and showed some drops of blood on the ground. How much blood was found?
Yeah, more than a few drops.
What does the blood suggest about a type of injury? Why would she be bleeding? Did somebody hit her? Or was there a struggle when she was presumably taken out of the house? I'm not a criminal investigator, and also I don't have access to their information. But it's possible that they could tell something about the nature of what happened to her by maybe the amount of blood or where the blood is and all that stuff. And I can't speak to that. But, why was she bleeding at all? If somebody just wanted to kidnap her, she wouldn't have to be bleeding. But I don't know. Fuel with Happiness says, was there a question about blood found inside the house? There was a question about other blood that was found inside the house.
Good to see you, honey.
Hello. It was, you could listen to the answer.
Welcome,
it was a bit vague. No, or
I hope
we're
you
not
survive
saying,
this cold weather.
No, they have not gotten any kind of confirmation.
Yeah,
of
he
found
backtracked
anywhere
a
else
lot
in
of
the house,
stuff
but
in
it
my
sounds
opinion.
like
I'm
they
just
may have
trying
other
to
DNA testing
give a little
that
courtesy
they're waiting on.
to Agenda Free TV and see
Brittany
if
Baby Girl says she probably
he gets any good
struggled.
questions here. I'm fixing to go on to the next thing here in just a minute. Something's coming up in the headline. Hold on a minute. About
Juliana Martin says, does anyone know if it was a lot of blood? We don't have.
Yeah, they didn't answer if there was blood in the house, which they already kind of backtracked that. This is just coming. I just want to see what this says. Hold on. Jenna Bush says daughter Mila 12 confronted her about Savannah Gerthy's mother. Okay, this is just coming out. Nancy Gerthy has been missing for 5 days, and the search continues for the 84-year-old mother of those 3. Okay, so People was putting out something. So I guess Jenna Bush's daughters are now trying to ask. Everybody loves Savannah, right? And everybody knows Savannah, so they're worried about her. And basically, that just popped up on my phone. Bush said that during the initial event, her 12-year-old daughter, that's sweet, had asked, and comforted her about this. I'm sure she was upset, as well. So it's really sad. All this is sad. There's a lot of people who is really worried about this family. And there's a 5:00 deadline today on that ransom note. That we do know. So that's just coming out. Y'all can look at People later about that. But again, she's 84 years old, and every minute and second and hour that passes now is very critical. The police said they choose humanity. They want to lead with humanity. Oh my gosh, Andy. Thank you. Andy gave 10 memberships. Whoever got 10 memberships, which was probably all of you, honey. Some of you probably even got shook out of them bushes. Shake your booties. Shake them orange trees, pears, peaches. Come on out and say hello and thank Andy for that. Thank you, Andy. Thank you so much. We appreciate you so much. Thank you. 10 memberships. Lord, that deserves That deserves. Where's my little thing? Where is my thingy thing? Where is my thing? Where is all this? I don't even know where my stuff is at, Andy. Lower me and my buttons. Lord. Well, you know you're simply the best. You're better than all the rest. Where in the hell? I can't see it. I don't know where it's at. I don't know. Oh, here we go. Cha-ching, cha-ching. That thing is too slow for me to go 10 times, honey. But thank you, everyone who got that. She gave 10 memberships. Thank you to Andy for giving 10 memberships. Love it. Thank you. Donna got one. Let's see, because I'm seeing her say thank you. I have a hard time seeing, but I'm sure it was probably most everybody in here. Looks like we only got like 12 people in here right now, but thank you. Absolutely. Thank you, Andy. Appreciate you so much. Love you, honey. I hope you made it through this cold. I really do. Hold on a minute. But no one deserves to disappear in silence. And they're vowing until any answers come, they're not going to give up, nor should they, nor should they. Listen, I say the ball is in their court there, meaning whoever. I think it's more than one, but who carried her out anyway. But that's just me. But the ball is in their court. Now, they said it through last night when Savannah and them other children spoke to the people who gave the ransom note, who spoke to their mother, and who spoke to the community. They spoke also saying their grandkids miss her. They want her back. The children spoke. They have spoke, and the door is open, and they beg to bring their mom home. Again, I would too. I think it's crucial and a very crucial time. So he believes he don't sound as confident today, but they still believe there's a chance that Savannah's mother is still alive, and they want to save her. Nancy has been missing since Sunday, as local authorities and the FBI, are now, what are we in the 5th day? They say they are getting leads and they are investigating hundreds of leads. The law enforcement, to me, though, is backtracking. And I ask why. Maybe that's not important. My mama always said curiosity got the cat. I guess I'm just that cat. I pray, whatever he's saying now, though, is right. I pray that she is still alive. I hope that they get proof of life very soon. But so far, nothing. It was nothing. There was a neighbor that spoke out. They added, there was quite a few retirees and people who have lived in that neighborhood for quite a while. And they said they don't hear of things like that. They just don't hear of all the weird stuff happening. And this has definitely spooked them. I think that one lady, I don't know if y'all saw it with Brian Eden yesterday. He was trying to get some information on her. You got what's going on? She was trying to take video to the cop. I didn't come on last night, but I was watching another channel. And, you know, then she talked to him for a while, but, you know, she was wanting directions to the house, to the cops, and what was going on. But you can tell they're spooked. You can tell. There's other neighbors that's come out, allegedly. I mean, I saw it with my own eyes, but anybody can be put where they don't want to be nowadays. They were telling the truth about that because of AI. So the family's going to have to be very careful if somebody does come forward with her, you know, and say, this is proof of life. You're going to have to bring a lot of good, solid, hard proof. You ain't just going to get the money and run. But I would do what the FBI agent said and do something before it gets worse, because you still got time to correct this and make it right. Her mom is not in good health, not physically. Her mind is sharp as a tack. But again, this is not the movies. I'm sure she's not there helping them negotiate how to just get in touch with her daughter and all problems will be solved and go away. I'm sure she's on this life-saving medicine and she's in a lot of pain. If she's out there somewhere, she needs to be found. But he also stressed how important and urgent it was for her to have her daily medicines. I think now I wouldn't be worried about HIPAA, but okay. We know she has the heart problems. She's more than likely on blood thinners, maybe. I did see a few photos. She's like me. She's got bruises all over her. So that comes from thin blood. I'm going to assume, you know, maybe her injuries, I'm going to pray and hope, was not a lot. Maybe that blood on the porch, I don't know what was in the house. They're not saying, but I'm going to pray what was on the porch just come from because she bleeds a lot due to the heart medications that she takes, because blood thinners can make you bleed tremendously. It's not on the least little thing, on On Wednesday night and today, nothing's changed. They said they have not and are not, will not, have not identified anybody. They said they just don't have enough evidence. Don't mean they don't have no evidence. Just means that they don't have enough from what I gather. But he said they do believe and have hope she's alive. You know, there's something I wanted to tell y'all on here. I got to find it again. Oh, and y'all seen where she did what I was going to say a while ago on Facebook in one of the groups that she asked, because people can put you places. I think I got sidetracked. That she was asking on Facebook about cameras or what's the most secure cameras and stuff like that, which is not unnormal. But I would like to know, did she update her cameras, which we're not going to find that out right now. But did she already have cameras? Did she just install those cameras? Was they updated? Who installed those cameras? That's another big one. Could it be? Let me see something. Oh, I don't know if I can read that. Hold on, I'm getting something. Hold on a minute. Oh, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. Isn't that funny? That's funny. Yeah, that's funny. Thank you for that. Thank you. But allegedly, Nancy asked the neighbors about the cameras and which was best for outdoor cameras, right? Not long before her abduction. And, you know, was she having problems? And then we got this neighbor saying, you know, they see people lurking in the neighborhood. Very strange. But they say she asked about the cameras. So I asked why did she have problems before, and then by the law saying that he's backtracking. I'm going to say that. He's backtracking on the cameras wasn't smashed. I don't know who got that started or taken or whatever. I think some things, hell, he may not know. I'm just saying. Again, I'll agree with that one retired cop. He might be a very nice man, but either he's talking too much or he's trying to backtrack too much. In the other person's words, he was talking too much. In my words, he's backtracking too much. So I don't know. But allegedly, that was done on social media, right? She asked that. And it is out there. I did see it. I seen it with my own eyes. And there was clear signs of a struggle inside Nancy's home. That's what he said before. That's what he said before. And while police are being careful about what they say and what they're releasing, I do understand that at the same time because they have to be careful. They've already said it was a crime scene. I don't care how much they can want to take that back. And they didn't try to take that back today. But evidence, they said there was no forced entry, which to me makes it look worse for somebody who does know her. That's just my opinion. It makes it suspicious. No suspect, again, no suspect. Okay, this is what I wanted to talk to y'all about. Now, y'all might get bored right here. I'm not going to blame anybody, but I might give y'all a little lesson here. Because I was going to do this last night, and then I'm just like, no, I'm not going on there. And I don't do anything I don't want to do. I'm sorry, I just don't. I was tired, and I literally cleaned yesterday. And I was just tired. I got down deep, cleaned my refrigerator, dusted, and all the good things. But I was wore out last night. And then I started listening, and that was the end of me, honey. But again, I'm not saying that anybody is a suspect. Hell, I'm not the one that brought that out in the first place. So let's get that straight. Let me just take him down for a minute. We ain't going to listen to this no more. Hold on. Lord, I thought I'd cut myself off here. Okay, hold on a minute. Let me get this down. Let's just get, okay, where are we at? So go sub up to Agenda Free TV. They're over there still asking questions, whatever, but I want to talk to y'all about something. Again, y'all are probably going to be bored. But this is where I want to come into the what ifs because I like to know everything. I'm nosy Rosie here. Now already... they have no suspects and we're not accusing anyone. Everybody's innocent in the court of law. Court of public opinion is something different. And again, Casey asked me earlier, I may think one person is, but I may think the other person is, I don't know. I really don't know. I don't have a voice on that yet. I haven't made up my mind, but, what I want to know is, or I want to tell y'all, okay, how am I going to say this? How does biology knowledge relate to any crime? Isn't he, or wasn't he, I'll just say he, y'all know who he is, somebody in the family. Okay, let's take this person out of it in this case. Let's say how biology knowledge can either help in a crime or it can hurt in a crime. So if you're trained in biology or you're a teacher or something like that, that gives you more knowledge, right? Just wondering. Will they understand how a body would break down or decomp would work, for one? And I know nobody else out there ain't going to waste their time and go on this, but I am. Where a normal person or a street person might just say, okay, yeah, all right. But someone who knows about this DNA, how evidence can transfer. So was that another reason that he just said in the press conference that the car was normal procedure? I don't think there's nothing normal about towing a car in. I'm sorry, I just don't. Oh, and what I said in somebody else's chat last night, a lot of people's forgetting. We shed our skin cells every day, all day. I'm sitting here shedding them as we speak right now. I'm not trying to get into biology or nothing. I'm just saying. But a lot of people forget about that part. But they know if they have a career like that or study stuff like that, or, that's why you got law enforcement people that's crooked. I'm not saying this case. I'm just saying in general. Take what I say with a grain of salt, y'all. I'm just telling you. I'm just giving you a little bit of knowledge here. But people like that know how evidence can transfer or degrade depending on what they want to do or what their knowledge needs to be at the time. Because that's their job. Just like your job is your job and my job is my job. So with that knowledge, in any case, that can be good or that can be bad. It can be used to help solve a crime in general, or that knowledge can be misused. So I wonder if that clicked with anybody. I wonder if it clicked. Some people not only misuse sometimes, they abuse their knowledge, their power, and their jobs. Sometimes they overestimate their ability. Now listen to what I'm saying. Sometimes they overestimate their ability to outsmart the investigators, though. Even trained professionals who try to hide evidence almost always leave microscopic traces. And they end up making behavioral mistakes. They underestimate digital. Don't underestimate it, honey. They thought they were going to underestimate getting Bitcoins and ransom notes, but we got one in jail right now per this press conference that just came out. But sometimes people will overlook how interconnected, intertwined, whatever you want to call it, that investigations really are. But it don't matter how careful you are. There's still this. There's no such thing as a perfect crime. And in Miss Nancy's case, they said from hour one, it was a crime. And Danny said, I like to agree with the chat. I know they need to get to talking now. Get to talking. But guess what? It don't matter what profession you have. It don't matter what kind of degree you have, or it don't matter if you don't have anything but those street smarts, which some of y'all are lacking a lot of common sense out there. Guess what? It don't matter who you are, rich, poor. You're not the smartest one in the room. I can guarantee you that. You're not going to not leave something like you thought you might have. Especially not in this case. Because you can believe every rock's going to be overturned. But people who think they can get away with the perfect crime, they might for a while, they might for a couple years. They're not going to get away with it. even professional cops you've seen be arrested for things. I'm not saying anything. I'm not trying to say anything bad about cops. I'm trying to give y'all a little knowledge here. Doctors, look at Tippy. You know, and I want to know in this case, sorry to keep mixing it up back and forth saying, well, it's not about this, but it is about this. Okay, let's speak on this for a minute. I would like to know if this was they thought a dry run in this case as well. I would like them to go backwards on the cameras. It don't mean that they will. But I'd like to see if they got any dry runs in the middle of the night at any time in that dark, godforsaken place. You know, but in active investigations, authorities are very careful about what they do release. So I can't blame them too much for that because they don't want to be premature. Assumptions can interfere with any case. And it can spread misinformation and it can really hurt. But it is aggravating. It really is. We know with Elizabeth Smart, we know with all these cases, they always look at the family first. They can't not look at the family members. They always look at the family members first. They look at the close friends, the caregivers, the neighbors. He said a while ago, they talked to the Uber driver. Anyone who's had recent contact with Miss Nancy, I guarantee you they've talked to or they're going to be talking to, unless there's neighbors that disappear and go on vacations like they did in Tennessee. Just saying. It might take a hot minute. But right now, with this weather, I'm not sure where you could go. You're just better off to stay where you are. Let them come talk to you. But that's who they're going to look at first, no matter what. So who can they rule in or rule out? I don't know. When will we know? Probably when there's an arrest. But like I said, the ball's in their court. Right now, the door is open for them. They're not going to say, they're not just going to assume guilt. You know, they're not going to just do that. That's just the way the ball bounces. And it's just standard procedure and all that. It's very serious. Look, they have something in mind. Did you hear what he said a while ago in the press conference about take it as what you will, being withholding information on purpose, whether it was legal or whether it was being strategic? That's one I want you to hear me loud and clear on, because I heard him loud and clear on that. They asked, was he purposely keeping anything? Or there was something purposely he wasn't saying. He said there's always the legal. Sometimes it's strategic. Got to read between them lines. But with people that know biology, you know, they have to know even the tiniest traces can shift. Right? And you can't get everything. I know in missing cases, people want to know right away the answers quickly. I want to know. People try to fill in the gaps. And that's what they try to prevent. Speculation, because speculation runs wild. Nobody needs that. Nobody wants that. Nobody is trying to go for that. Innocent people can get pulled into narratives, innocent people's lives can be ruined. Innocent people's careers can be ruined. And nobody wants that. I don't want that. And I don't think the sheriff or the FBI wants that. Not in this case, not in any case. That's why law enforcement asks the public not to speculate, not to spread misinformation, because that's hard once it's done to undo. It's just hard to undo. Let's go ahead and see if we can, now that I got Agenda Free down, let's look and see from last night from the speech. I know we heard it a while ago and y'all already saw it. Let's look at their faces and see what y'all think again.
Looking for you, Mommy, everywhere. We will not rest. Your children will not rest until we are together again.
It's just heart-wrenching. We are going into day 5 in the search for Nancy Guthrie, and now her family is...
We will not rest. Your children will not rest until we are together again.
It's just heart-wrenching. We are going into day 5 in the search for Nancy Guthrie, and now her family is acknowledging a ransom note sent to the media. You saw it there, Savannah Guthrie. She posted an emotional video, and for about 30 seconds, she talked directly to whoever abducted her 84-year-old mom in the middle of the night, right out of her home. Justin Pizzera is live at her home at the Catalina Foothills in Tucson. Justin, you were one of the first reporters to be on scene Monday morning. And it's so interesting to see the difference from that Monday morning, maybe 30 hours after the abduction. There was no crime scene tape. There were no reporters out there to see where we are now. And you can see right behind you, crime scene tape. What's the difference here now? What are we looking at now, day 5?
Emma, it is night and day from when we got here that first Monday morning, very early Monday morning. It was just me and my photographer, Brett. We were the only ones out here. There was a crew from Tucson that was up the street a ways, but there was no security at the home. There was no deputy. There was no crime scene tape. So now we're going into day 5 of this search, and you cannot get down the street. Media is just lining this street. Now there's security at this home 24/7 watching over it. So quite the difference. It is quiet out here. It's a quiet neighborhood, just other than that security there at the home as well. The crime scene tape, it is down this morning after they did put it back up yesterday. What's really interesting about that is the sheriff said early on that they had given the home back to the family, that they were pretty much done with their investigation. But then yesterday, all of a sudden, they came to the house again and surrounded the home. So I do want to show you some of the latest video that we do have. The night video that you're seeing right here is investigators. They were at Savannah's sister's home for hours. We believe this is where Savannah filmed her social media post, because we could see detectives with the FBI taking in a tripod and a ring light. Then a couple of hours later, Savannah posted that video. The daylight video that you're going to see is from Nancy's home, where detectives, they were back out looking through the backyard. They had a canine unit out here as well going through the yard. There's been a lot of questions about that ransom note sent to TMZ and then some Tucson TV stations earlier this week. The only thing the sheriff would say is that they were looking into it. But then last night, Savannah acknowledged that note and talked directly to whoever abducted her mom.
We are ready to talk. However, we live in a world where voices and images are easily manipulated. We need to know, without a doubt, that she is alive and that you have her. We want to hear from you, and we are ready to listen. Please reach out to us.
So I do want to point out 12 News has not seen that ransom note, but TMZ is saying that it is very, very specific. It is asking for a large amount of money in Bitcoin. They said that they did verify that account. It is a legit Bitcoin account. But also it says that this ransom note, and so did the TV station in Tucson, say that it had very specific information related to Nancy and when she was abducted from her home, and also very specific information about the house itself that only investigators would know. Another thing to point out, investigators haven't said really anything on what led them to think that something was suspicious. So whatever is in that ransom note, if it is specific enough, then these detectives would be able to figure that out, kind of lead to if it's legit or not. The FBI, they are out here as well. We did see some agents yesterday from Phoenix. They were out here. We talked to the FBI. They said that they have intelligence analysts out here, an evidence response team. They did also say that this is pretty much a normal response when they have a high-profile case like this one as well. Another thing to point out, ladies, is they're also looking into a trespassing incident in January. The sheriff's office says that they're looking into that as well. They're saying that they still do not have a suspect. They do not have a person of interest. That is despite earlier this week, a podcaster came out and said that there was a suspect. The sheriff's office quickly came out and said that is not true. They said that reporting something like that that's unverified, that does not help this case out at all, and that is basically irresponsible. So we're hoping, ladies, to get an update later today from the sheriff's office late this morning. They're expected to give us an update, so hopefully we'll get some more insight into where this investigation stands.
So they also talked about a trespasser, and that's what I was talking about, somebody trespassing. So, hey, Deborah, hello, hello. Yeah, it does feel like a performance, don't it? It was just very strange. It's all very strange, if you ask me. But again, who are we to say? I mean, I don't know. So you were saying they can ping her pacemaker without her app or phone. Why don't they? So I was watching the guy that had one on, he's a newscaster. I forgot, on NBC. He was on NBC. I don't know if he's on NBC. I know him from regular TV. I can't remember how he said it, but I don't know about all that, what you're talking about. I don't know if they can or not, or you know that for a fact. I don't know. But I know that was interesting to watch this morning, because he even said that if they like went door to door and she was in there and they had her cell phone with her, they would be able to, even if it was vaguely, pick it up. So I don't, I really don't know. That's kind of, all that's a little bit complicated, but have they done that? I don't know. And the pings, and you're right, technology's come so far, they can do a lot of things. I don't know. I was wondering too about the pacemakers, like even at the hospital, because what about when lights and stuff like that go out? I don't know. Don't know. Should be just like anything else. They should be able to do it with all the technology we have today. That's all I'm saying. But they may have already done that and just not telling us, they just might not be telling us, because he said he's not going to talk about a lot today. The other sister's husband or ex is peculiar to me. Are you talking about Savannah's? Has he spoke? I don't think he spoke. I think he come on there and said something like real brief yesterday or a couple of days ago, like something I read, but he's some big something to do. I forgot what it was. And I think I don't know if he's just keeping his mouth shut or whatever, because it's only the two girls, right? And then the boy. I don't know. Why would unless it was something like, again, inheritance or something like that, why would any of the family, though, want her gone? I, you know, that's something that law will have to. Oh yeah, Tommaso, Tommaso, yeah, not Savannah, the other one. Absolutely, he is. He is very strange to me. He's strange to me too, and a lot of people are looking at him, and that's just public opinion. You know, it comes along with the territory. Hey, it's out there, and that's just a fact. Police, that's not a rumor, that's a fact. Everybody knows. You don't need the police to come on and tell you in a press conference. You don't need them to come to your house in a crime. Everybody knows. A 10-year-old knows. The family is always the first one that they look at and that they try to clear. So, yeah, hey, if you have nothing to hide, I always say you hide nothing, right? So there's that. Yeah, that's what, yeah. And remember how Stephen Stearns and the mother and them was looking during all that? That, I wouldn't have kept up with it, but I just would not. I told my mods, I'm like, I'm not going to cover that if it goes to trial or anything. I'm like, I just can't. That is just sick. I just cannot deal with them. And I said, I'm just not going to do it. And to see her sitting there rubbing his head and his hair, and this witch, she's just guilty if you ask me. Don't even get me started on her, Tommaso. Yeah, don't even get me started on her, honey, in that case. Because I can say, probably, I can make up a lot of cuss words for that one. Welcome in, everybody. Thank you for being here. I wanted to come on here. I didn't come on last night and go over some things that I didn't do. I know this is a pretty long live. That press conference was pretty long, but I wanted to I kind of wanted to go over everything, because that way I don't have to come back on here unless there's, I got the wrong thing up, sorry. Unless there is, stop screen. Unless there is, share screen. Something going on, because I got some other stuff I want to do today. Let's see. But after cleaning, Lord knows, I pretty much did it last night. Let's see. Facebook never works for me. But let's see if this works. Hold on. I'm just making sure y'all can see it. Hold on a minute. Yeah, and you can. So let me get back over here. All right. Okay. Ransom note demands made through TMZ. I think they're going to put out those notes. I think that's what he said. I may be wrong. Boy, she sure is a pretty woman. She sure is. And this was one day ago. There is a ransom note. And they were pretty adamant about that. And that's from Abby Blabby. Y'all go over and follow Abby. She gets a lot of stuff out there. And she's with Strategic Eyes too as well. I mean, I've seen her there. I don't know if she mods or not, but I know she's good. She gets all the info. She's good. So Abby Blabby put this out. Breaking, there is a ransom note claiming to be from the person who took Nancy Gerthy, and it was sent to TMZ. It demands a substantial amount of Beacon coins, which we know, and they said that was an account, but they wanted millions for it, right? But they wanted it to be sent out specifically to a specifically Bitcoin address, right? The note includes a deadline. It had the deadline and everything. It had the deadline and a warning of consequences if the demand is not met. It mentions an item damaged at the home. So that's what they were talking about today. They don't know if when Brian, he asked a good question. Brian Eaton was asking a good question. If that light or that one thing was hanging out after they come out with the Apple Watch or not. That's why he wanted to know that. So he asked a lot of good questions. But the note included a deadline and the warning, right? TMZ has verified all that. And then it gives the facts of the case. You know, she's 84 years old. She went missing from her $1 million home. And she was last seen on Saturday around 9:30 when and see here it's saying again, but they would not confirm that today, when her daughter dropped her off at her home. She did not show up for church on Sunday morning, so her church friends called a family member who then notified the police. They started searching her property. They saw the blood. You know, they got the DNA samples. Now we know it's 100%. It's 100% Miss Nancy's blood. We know that. So that's one of the things. Let's go up here to this other one. Let's see. Y'all hear Happy snoring in the background? Oh, wait. That's still my agenda. I need to take that down. Where am I at right there? Is that the one I'm at? Uh-oh. I think I just knocked something off, honey. Lord have mercy. I clicked out something and don't have no idea what it was. Well, I guess it wasn't important for us to see. We didn't need to see that. Hold on. Okay, that's what I'm trying to knock off. That's what I'm trying to knock off. So, because I knocked that off, because I knocked that off, I'm not sure. I don't have anything else. So y'all good. Y'all are like, gosh darn, Smiley. Thank God. Lord, thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. I bet my mods are saying, Lord, I see the light. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. But no, I'm with Andy. I just think this is a whole big nothing burger, you know. I just think that it was a long, drawn out thing. Hey, just me. Hello. Good to see you. I think he's right in saying unless anything else popping off, they're not gonna come out and just do press conferences just to say we did a press conference. Now they do need to get busy with their work, and you know, they got a lot of work to do. They got more things important to do. You know, we have had enough. Now I'll be the first one to say some people need to come out and give a press conference. Foothills, Tennessee, need to come out and give a press conference. Okay? There are some that do need to come out and give a press conference. There's no doubt about that. But some people actually do need to work. And they got better things to do than come out with the same song and dance, especially if it's going to be the same thing over and over. I don't feel like, in my opinion, that we learned too much. We did learn that the ransom note is real. There was more than one. We learned that somebody was arrested. So, yeah, we did learn all that, right? And I can tell you, Nancy is 84 years old, and it's critical that they find her because we are in day 5 and the ball is in their court. The children spoke. The press conference was today. The doors were opened again by the FBI, by the police department. The doors are open. They said the children are ready to talk. This lady needs to come home. She needs to be found. Now, I'm going to go ahead and play us out of here. I'm going to get us on out of here. Let me get Nancy. Let me get her. Let's see. And by the way, everybody that's saying He's a suspect. There has been no suspects named. No suspects named, but that is the son-in-law. And I think Janice was asking a while ago, he is from Italy. Okay, he is from Italy. That's not what I wanted to put up though. I want to show this one more time. This is her. See, well, I know we saw it on TV and stuff. I just don't see her coming out, walking over by the rocks, doing all that stuff. I just don't see that. That's just me. I just don't see it. So she needs to be found. She needs her medications. She needs whatever it is that she needs. And if y'all have any information, the reward is now $50,000. If you think you know anything in an emergency, and I would say this is an emergency where she might be or anything, call 911. Okay? Otherwise, you can call the FBI or you can call the Sheriff's Department at 520-351-4900. But I appreciate you, Andy, very much. Thank you for the 10 memberships. Thank you, Raymond. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Everybody who got one, thank you. I appreciate you so much. I appreciate all my mods, all of your help. And Agenda TV, go sub up to them. Thank you for letting us use your content. All content belongs to content creators. Thank you, Roxy. It was so great to see you here today. Did she use a walker? I will answer that. I don't know, but I would assume she probably used a walker or maybe a cane, but they have not gave any of that information out publicly yet. But I'll play us out and then I'll just go ahead and click off. But I love y'all. Thank you for being here. And I will see you again when I see you in these streets, YouTube streets, that is. Y'all have a great day.
She was born and bred in Nashville, but she walks the beaches down in Florida sand. A mother and wife, a daughter, a sister, trying hard to do the best she can. She found her voice with a heavy heart, looking for purpose with trembling hands. And giving this all a new start, moving ahead, speaking for ones who came. And she says, I am who I am, I'll stand my ground. Even when the nights get long and rough, you'll hear my sound. She'll be speaking for the ones unheard, 'cause she's got a caring heart that won't be turned. Her mama fought cancer while she was searching, stories that needed a gentle voice. We saw a summer's name and felt the heart we can try to bring light where there was no choice. And when she heard us the best in her sadness rose, she prays for truth through the noise. She'll follow wherever the story goes, seeking their dignity, a child's joy.
Thank you again for being here. Y'all hit the thumbs up on your way out. See ya.